Hey, hey, people, how y'all doing? Today we got the crew as usual, Mr. Terrence, Mr. Anzo, and of course, Mr. John. How y'all doing?
Doing good,
What's
sir.
up? What's up?
Happy to see y'all pretty faces.
No comment.
Well,
Fair
before
enough.
we get started, I'm gonna say me and Anzo had our show yesterday. Oh my God, it was so refreshing. We
What's that?
actually got to talk.
Square one? Is that what
Square
it is?
one. Square one. Anzo and I actually got to talk and hold a conversation. We didn't have to hold up our hands. We didn't have to send people to the family zone. It was back and forth, just like Serena playing her sister Venus. Man, it was awesome.
Yeah, I'm expecting not to get a word in tonight, but it's all good.
I caught some of that. It was awesome. It was really cool, and like seeing you guys get to play with the audience is always pretty cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna say this because I think I'm as a man, I always like to admit when I'm wrong, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it out here,
Uh-oh.
especially for Terrence and for Anzo. Stargirl, I wasn't kind of feeling all that much at first. I gave it a B minus. See, it was kind of dragging and slow. I was like, oh, I'm gonna give it a chance. In fact, if I remember correctly, I'm gonna give it 5 episodes. Well, I don't think it's gonna take 5 episodes because this last episode, I was blown away. I was caught. I was hooked from scene one to the end of the scene. I think if they keep this direction and don't get crazy, it's gonna be a good show.
All right.
So I will take back my B minus and I will give this episode an A.
There you go.
Converted.
Well,
We-
let's
I
be
am
fair.
converted.
Let's be fair. You were given the scores as we went on. It's
But one thing I'm gonna complain about. I don't care. I'm not feeling Wildcats hood
The
suit with
costume.
it. They gotta change that up. I don't really like that. That's my only gripe. And I'm sure next season they're gonna make it look better. It just I can't tell it's her when she's in the suit. So I
Okay.
don't like that aspect of it. But other than that, I was really I they are really doing a dynamite job with the villains. I think the villains are way more interesting than the good guys. Hopefully that'll change. But
Or at least even get on the same level.
yeah. But,
I personally love the fact that I'm a villains guy, so when they have good villains, I love it. So give me more. I mean, they can progress the good guys better, I guess. But right now, the way it's going, I'm loving it. I love the bad guys.
okay, now as you see right here, it looked like you just got a towel with eyes cut out. That's what it looked like to me. It
A
don't
little
look like
brutal.
a traditional hood. It looked like a green terry cloth towel, and he was able to stitch some dragon on it.
He
But
got it
his
from Bed
eyes,
Bath and Beyond. He got it
Why?
from the Beyond part though.
but
Why
his
did you?
eyes, man, his eyes look reptilian like, and the way they were blinking differently than our eyes.
I very much appreciated that little attention to detail, like the different color contacts and the weird like. It reminded me of the scene in Men in Black when Will Smith caught the alien guy on the rooftop and he didn't know he was an alien and he did the thing and you're like, whoa, okay, cool, little
like he blinked vertical instead of horizontal.
that's cool. Or the other way, yeah.
You know, I have to say, why did you have to say that, Danny? I was like, the costume was cool. Now all I see is a freaking towel on his head.
Dude, lighting can do a lot. Like it really can. It was because that scene was lit really well, and like the dialogue was cool, and the tension was really strong. I mean, yeah, you put something like that, looking like that in the bright light, like, yeah, it could get a little goofy.
I'm sorry, but
I feel you. I told you.
I look at the cartoon, and the cartoon I think his hood is black. Is that correct, Terrence?
Yeah, he has a green one and a black one.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe the black one look better, but it looks like this guy scares Icicle. So I don't know if Icicle is the true leader or not, because in their conversation, it seemed that he was a little timid or afraid of the Dragon King. Or did I read that wrong?
No, I got that too. I was wondering. I was like, is the Dragon King the boss, or is it still Icicle? The way he was talking, Icicle was talking to everybody else like aggressively, and I'm the boss. But he came to Dragon King talking to him like, calm.
Yeah, like whatever you want. Because he asked for the body, and I was like, oh, before we go any further, I'm sorry, people. This is going to be a full spoiler.
Yeah.
We're discussing Stargirl on Sundays. You done had a week. You done had a week to watch it.
We are
not
episode
watching
4.
I'm sorry, but we're gonna be full spoiler on all our episodes and discussions. Go ahead, Terrence.
So, Icicle is the leader, but a lot of the villains, especially in that particular circle, are afraid of Dragon King. Like a lot of those characters can snap him in two, but the way that he carries himself and what he is able to create that they can't even imagine when they put their heads together collectively is terrifying to this. So from my particular experience, if like when it comes to what I refer to as beast mode, there are different levels of it. And if a person can do certain things or they can think on a certain intellectual level, sometimes that is just as powerful as being able to snap someone's neck. So that particular scene, I enjoyed it a lot because it showed that, he is someone that the audience should be concerned about if Icicle feels that way because whether it be villains or heroes or just regular boring human beings, they do a lot of posturing. They have an ego problem. They like to stick their chest out all the time when they are really insecure weaklings. But there comes a time when you understand that your posturing doesn't work on certain people. And those are people that are mentally strong. It just doesn't work. So Dragon King is supposed to be such a character. So I was glad that they showcased that just in that scene where you just had dialogue going on between the two characters.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, it's funny. I guess I'll throw mine out here because everybody's used to me, being Mr. Other side of the realm dude. So I guess why not? Let's go. Honestly, with this episode, I'm like, wow, this feels back to Arrow season 1 stuff. And I would even give it the acting is better in this one versus Arrow 1. But they do a lot of elements that I really feel like the CW has missed for a very long time. And I think this is where you're going to start seeing the progression of, hopefully, I might eat my words later, hopefully like the smaller episode runs and the more production value, they'll stay this way. You're seeing a lot more of traditional storytelling. Remember how I bitched about a lot about crappy dialogue for no reason when you could do something? The whole Yolanda sequence with why she's the way she is and the history with her and Henry and the history of her with the school and her family.
Oh, that was awesome.
Dude, it was like 2 or 3 minutes and we had just basic dialogue like, bye mom, hi mom, that was it. Other than that, there's nothing happening except essentially a musical montage that shows this rise and fall of a character that we've already been introduced to, but this feels like the real introduction. And it was really refreshing to see that. We'd seen a couple of those things in the other episodes, like we said, with the guy who drew the flowers on the locker and things like that. Seeing some reveals. I think this might be the best episode. 3 might be better. I'm not sure, but this might be the best. I will argue because I am me, I have to. I do have little nitpicky things, but I don't find them to be anything near what I do with other shows. They're things that I either wish they would have done differently, things I'm noticing as a issue that they're doing constantly that I hope they fix, and just things that really just irk me as a viewer going forward. So other than that, I thought this was solid. Such a solid episode. It felt like people who cared about telling a story were helming this, and I was really, really impressed.
I gotta say for the humans listening that even though this show is on the CW, it was developed for the DC streaming service. That is why
And that's where I watch it.
that is why the approach for the storytelling and characters is very different, because I see often people in comment sections, the few people that might talk about it on live streams are like, this feels different. It's like, because it's not meant for that channel, they just decided to put it there to expand the audience, because they're starting to realize that a lot of humans don't have access to the DC streaming service, but they do have access to the CW.
Well, and they want the world building, I think. I would assume they want some of the world building, even though right now it doesn't feel like they're really together. I mean, the closest you probably have is Jay Garrick. Flash maybe might be the closest that we have for a tie-in right now. I would totally agree. And the hard thing with like film business, and man, Warner and HBO have been the perfect example of a bunch of people who are all running little pieces, and they just don't give a shit about each other. Like HBO Max is getting shit on constantly, and it's like, ooh, I kind of see why. And then you have the DC app, which had an attempt to be really cool destination for all DC fans. I don't even really care, but the app is pretty solid. I don't know. Do any of you guys have it?
I
Nope.
do.
I don't.
The app is I like it because there are a lot of comic books on there from DC. You have their original programming, and then you have a lot of the old school stuff. But I the
Who the
thing
hell is
the
Jordan
more
Cruz?
I was just about to say, hold on, we got a comment that we should address.
Wait, what? I was actually trying to pay attention to chat this time.
I'm sorry, Terrence.
Yeah, sorry, Terrence. But did you see the comment, Terrence?
Oh, where do you rank? Oh no.
no.
We got a blank man sighting.
I
Wait,
think it's
what
your guys'
happened?
fault for bringing it up. Like I feel like we're gonna see it every week from now on.
I hope so.
What about Meteor Man? We're always Meteor Man, right? Eddie Murphy.
We need both. We need Blank Man and Meteor Man comments, guys. So keep them coming
every day. Man, I love David Allen Greer too. By the way, he's awesome. I forgot how good of an actor he is, because he was Blank Man's sidekick, right?
His brother sidekick. Yeah.
Yeah. We just watched the first Jumanji, and fucking film is.
Oh, he's hilarious in that one too.
So good. He's so good.
I'll be going to get something to drink while y'all talking.
No and problem. I also got to argue, In Living Color is way better than SNL.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just throwing that out there. Dude, James, this is where you find Jim Carrey as Fire Marshal Bill and stuff. You got
Homie the Clown.
God, yes, he's my favorite. Homie don't play that. Man, if you've never seen In Living Color, I promise you, for some reason, people were stupid enough to get rid of their season DVDs to the secondhand store. Go buy them. They are fabulous. J-Lo is a fly girl. That's how she got found. So
yeah, exactly.
Just saying, they knew talent. Oh man, did the Wayans family know talent? Holy hell!
And speaking of that, right? You guys like the scary movies, right? The ones the Wayans brothers did.
1 and 2 for sure.
Yeah, 1 and 2. What about Haunted House?
I missed Haunted House. Which one's the one with the Charlie Sheen and they're making fun of signs and stuff? That was
that's scary movie. Haunted House is
with
Marlon Wayans. Yeah.
Oh, where they made fun of Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was kind of funny. Yeah.
So
I thought
go ahead,
Terrence. I thought it was okay, but I prefer
the scary movies. Yeah,
scary movies just more put together.
Me too. But Haunted House 1 and 2 I liked. Now my question is, wouldn't you like to see these guys do a take on superhero movies?
Ooh, that's a good question. They have a very particular feel about them.
Right. So if they do a parody, like a scary movie type of superhero movie, I would love to see that.
So are you saying like a legitimate one like Taika Waititi? Sorry, Terrence. Like a legitimate one like Taika Waititi, or like a
parody, like a scary movie comedy.
I would give it a chance, but I've already seen like really bad superhero parodies. So I would have to see like a trailer first.
Super Ex-Girlfriend. I mean, Luke Wilson was in that with Uma Thurman, and oof.
No, not so much that. I mean like more
Which
of
ones?
your silly what was one of them like superhero something like picture like scary movie, but it's
Mhm.
just they're doing it with superheroes. They have several of those that are awful.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen any.
Yeah, like just type in superhero movie parodies, and then the list will pop up. And not the one that John mentioned, but the ones that are really just that full blown satire type shit.
Mhm.
Those are
Mhm.
all.
Would you
awful.
consider Sky High to be a parody of a superhero genre?
It
Not,
is,
uh, uh,
it is, but it's
not
fine
right.
though.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
not like full blown
It took it
silliness
seriously
like scary
while
movie.
being
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm
Like
talking about. The more like not the ones where you have an actual story, but the ones where they're taking from things that are already established. Like those are the ones that I'm talking about.
because I feel like it'd be unfair to call like Blank Man or Meteor Man like a parody.
no, they're not.
I think they were taking it seriously, and it's like
Mhm.
because if people said, "Oh, but Blank Man's it's kind of dumb," but it reminds me of like a comedic version of Kick Ass, like before Kick Ass. You know what I mean?
Blank Man is a parody of the old school Batman series. That is
So
100% what it is.
so it kind of does it both really well.
Yeah,
So
that's
that
why why in the beginning of the movie they have them watching that. And then
Batman.
the PAL, the SMOW, and the PAL smack and all that. It's all there, just in
Really
case,
trying to do it.
for whatever reason, if I don't know, people are like, oh, maybe this is not what they're doing. I'm like, no, it's in every scene. The way that he acts when he pounds his hands together when he comes up with an idea, like it's all there.
But Meteor Man's not though.
No,
No. Blank
not
Man is
not your traditional one.
Just
Yeah, Blank
parody,
Man
yeah.
is your parody, but it has its own story.
Mhm.
It's not just a bunch of scenes like, oh, they
Mhm.
took that from this movie, they took that from that. It's just a bunch of things that they sort of reworked around for comedic purposes. That's not what that is.
I just think when it comes to those type of movies, that no one does it better than the Waynes. So I think they possibly could do a superhero one that would be good.
I don't think there's anyone that does it better than the Waynes per se, but you do have like not another teen movie. Like there's a
Mhm.
few of them that are
Yeah, but
good.
I didn't like that either. Not
Well, I
another
did.
team movie. Yeah, you did.
I was 50-50 on that one.
Yeah, it's like there's a few that I'm like are good, but there are so many that are. I even liked Meet the Spartans. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
There are moments.
I didn't like that one either.
Those are the kind of movies I tell people. I'm like, I feel like they were YouTube compilations put into like they had like a really hairline thin storyline going through it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's what they're supposed to be. Like
Mhm.
once the person understands what they're watching, your perspective on it becomes different.
Danny,
Because-
we want you here for the talk, man. Like
Well,
we want you here. We want
the
you here
problem
though.
with these ratings is that people they go into it like, oh, I'm expecting all this stuff. I'm like, that's the wrong approach because 99% of the time they're gonna fail you every single time.
Danny, I
That
feel
approach.
what you're saying, but we got to do some of the comments. You know what I mean? We had to just answer the comments question.
And
That's all we were doing.
we want you here, but fine. Like if we're gonna do that, I don't appreciate fucking dad watching us play in the sandbox, as I always say, yelling at us. So I guess to bring it back, how about for the sake of it, just for the fun, I'll put out a couple of my nitpicks.
Wait, hang on. Let me go back to my original point before that question came up. I was gonna say that when it comes to any sort of multiverse kind of ideas and concepts, DC has done it the best by far, in my opinion. Everyone else has copied them and tried to emulate them. I'm like, no. Like Marvel has some good stuff, but DC's multiverse, like what they did with Crisis and everything else, I'm like, I would like to see them translate that in some kind of way, whether it be a collection of shows or they try to do something cinematically in the theater. But either way, no matter the approach, if you do it, whether it be as they did on the smaller screen, you can then now connect everything that you've done, which is something no one else has done. So now,
can I ask, because I saw a thread with you guys to kind of peek behind the curtain talking about and I don't want to make it about agency. I'm thinking it could be the next topic after Stargirl quick, just to kind of let it seep in your guys' mind for a minute. do you think the whole connected universe thing, we watched Marvel do it on a cinematic level, and it was really, really impressive. But then you have DC, who's been doing it on a multi-episode narrative, like weekly thing, versus like, seeing a movie every year or 2 movies a year.
Eight and a half years, yeah.
Yeah, we're watching Arrow and Flash. I mean, even Arrow and Flash, let's just be honest, they did it really well by themselves until they started bringing other people in. And then we got all the way up to this whole deal. And I think the cartoons did it really well too. And you're seeing Marvel not do it quite as well on TV. And I think it's because the studios don't care about TV for some reason, even though Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been running longer than it should, quote unquote.
Well, I mean, but you have to tell people too that like Jeff Loeb was the guy running Marvel TV. That's why those shows feel inherently different than Kevin Feige's like MCU movies. Like if you just look at a couple of them, like Daredevil and Marvel's
season one of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. looks like Buffy because it felt like a Joss Whedon show, like 100%.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you want to bring up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I mean, the reason why it's been running as long as it has is not because of popularity, because most people don't like it. They dropped off. But ABC and Disney, they saved it. They give it a little bump, and then they're like, well, Kevin Feige will come on board. No, he won't. He just recently came on board with the TV shows, which is why a lot of stuff got canceled. He's like, that's not my stuff. I'm going to do my stuff. And you get the Disney Plus stuff. But because you were talking about the multiverse, whatever we get in Doctor Strange and WandaVision, once that ties in, then you'll start getting, this Earth and that Earth, and it's just like, oh, that'll be cool if they do it right.
Well, it'd also be cool just to compare it and finally doing something where Marvel isn't quite there yet, and we're comparing it to something DC that was actually well done for the most part.
Right. Well, yeah. See, but the thing is like a lot of times when humans say that something is new, DC already did it. Now, whether the person liked what they did is another discussion, but they still did it first.
I would say on TV. That's the hard part. Is like not everybody reads comic books and not everybody watches every TV show. So it's really important about presentation.
Well,
and
but this is not even about the comic books though. This is about that it exists in some form of live action. So even if the person doesn't know, it doesn't change the fact that it's there. And once you bring it to their attention, then they're like, oh, I didn't know that. They'll start thinking about it like, oh, okay, well, now that I know that this is here, how is it different? And then you should be able to break it down to the person how it's different and how and why it was done better, because there are examples. So Kevin Feige even said that his inspiration for the MCU, aside of him being a Marvel fan, was the Christopher Reeve Superman movie in terms of the tone and the way that he tells his stories.
Yeah.
So and like something that's always going to influence someone.
And like I said, I kind of want to hold off for the world building stuff until after Stargirl. But like that was just something I kind of wanted to implant, the Marvel versus DC, seeing how we're going to do the multiverse thing.
Before you get into your nitpicks, I know that's coming.
Yeah,
I have one. I want to know if it's the same one as you.
Yes.
And I think I told Terrence about this. One of my nitpicks was when they were going into the hospital room. And it's like, isn't it just a coincidence that she happened to be in there at the same time as the violin woman comes in, and then the son comes in that she wants to kill? I'm like, come on now, really? Like, and
very contrived.
And what hospital has visitors that late?
Oh, all kinds of stuff, and no way you're getting past.
I think she snuck in because her name's not on the list. Because that's what they said.
Yeah, but that's just the show telling you it's okay. It's like
I think she's part of Injustice Society or something.
Oh yeah, she absolutely is. I think she's the fighty chick at the beginning. I'm pretty sure they've already alluded to it. It's the same actress or whatever.
Yeah, I think
you're talking about the fiddler.
Yeah, the violin.
Yeah,
she's very much a very interesting villain that people are going to enjoy if they do her right. Because she controls people through her music.
I was just about to ask. It's really funny. I feel really bad. This is a funny trope. This is going to piggyback on your nitpick, Anzo. Could you give her a song that she could actually look like she even remotely knows how to play that instrument. Oh my god. It was like she only saw Lindsay Sterling videos on YouTube. It was like, oh my, they gave her like the fastest thing ever too. It was just like, could you just give her something maybe a little more melodic and fun so she could at least look like she knew how to pantomime that? It's a big pet peeve with me because it's not hard to do, especially when you have editing. And
goddamn trigonometry.
I gotta okay. Look.
And like I said, they were nitpicks because I thought it was a good episode, so I have to pick apart little tiny things.
All right. While I understand these nitpicks, I'm just like,
just for fun,
because I feel like
she looks silly, dude. She looks silly as hell during a serious
Let
scene.
me tell you this, because I know more about these characters than you do. If I were to, for a second, start nitpicking the whole thing, I probably won't enjoy it because like I'm like no, but I'm just letting you know, like the more knowledge that the person has, it would be even easier to nitpick. I'm like, no, I'm gonna sit here.
It sounds like you're getting tired of trigonometry to me, Terrence.
No.
Come on back down here to basic math.
Only when it comes to Stargirl, he's not worrying about the trigonometry, you know?
No. I wouldn't call it the trigonometry. Like the analytics of it is always appreciated. I'm just simply saying, you know, that doesn't bother me. That's all I'm saying.
Well, fine. Just to annoy you again, the other thing I had a problem with is that she walked into the little thingy and Henry noticed, and he's like, oh no, but we didn't hear the shink. Come on, show. Don't give me the big loud like you unsheathed the sword right behind his head 2 feet away, and then tell me
that's okay. That is a bit silly.
I don't care, but it's something I notice. If that makes sense.
No. It is a bit silly, but at the same time, I'm like, come on, dude. Like, it's comic book stuff. They all have.
That's not a good argument. Like I could say is just that's a bad production. Here's a really good example of me nitpicking an awesome scene. Let me have this with Dragon Cobra Kai. What's his name?
Dragon King.
Dragon Face. I don't know. The Cobra Commander. Whatever. Cool scene. Them talking. Music was really solid. He's got his little minions sitting around there. They're doing the whole thing. They do the reveal with the eyes. They ask for the body. Fucking stellar scene. Love that scene. Yeah. Calm down. It wasn't lit like that. It wasn't lit like they were at a Big Bang Theory.
You saw the way Icicle looked at those minions. They will fuck your shit up.
And see, my favorite part about the minion thing is you're thinking, oh, they're really cool. I go, did you notice how the Dragon King decided to sit down? Which I was like, odd choice. Most people like to stand as a position of power. The second, since he decides to sit down, he doesn't even take the head of the table, which I also thought was really strange considering he's in power. Then the minion took this is the one I'm making fun of. The minion took the chair that is obviously bolted to the ground and acted like he pulled it out and put it in, even though you could 100% tell. Why'd you even bother?
Okay. Now I gotta say this for the.
And that's where the joke is for me watching it. It doesn't ruin the scene for me, but it's something that I noticed.
Let me tell you something. When a person is like afraid of someone, Look, Icicle and other members of the Injustice Society are afraid of Dragon King. It doesn't matter if he's sitting or standing. That makes no difference at all. Like. Someone sitting or standing, like, okay, if I'm in the room with someone that can just mop the floor with me, if they suddenly sit down, I'm not going to be like, oh, man, I could take them now. It's like, no, that person can still fuck my shit up. It doesn't matter.
But from a movie making, like, visual representation type thing, it's like you don't give up power unless, like, there's a reason.
I don't even think it was power at all. It was a I don't give a shit kind of thing.
It's kind of what it felt like.
The fact, he's comfortable around him.
Like why he didn't sit at the head of the table. That's a very prominent.
No, it's kind of like how Leonidas turned his back on Xerxes. I think one-on-one, Leonidas would have fucked his ass up, but Leonidas was like, okay. I know.
Let me put it this way. Like on
the real Leonidas would have killed the real Xerxes too.
Family dinner. Is there a head of the table or something like that? if somebody sits there, they're establishing dominance. If they don't deserve to be there and they didn't earn that spot, we're moving them. You
Yeah,
sit at the kids'
but in that
table,
particular,
hold on. Because if I look at my living room table right now, there is no specific spot for any person. Like, unless they already put their food there and they're like, I'm gonna go get a napkin or something. Like,
well, I'm trying to make a real world like scenario. There's a head of a table. People call it that for, I don't really give a shit. But I'm saying I think it's interesting that the guy who seems like he's above and like really powerful, it seems strange that he would kind of like cock off to the side or whatever.
Not really, because if you think back if you watch Justice League, Superman gives Batman a wide berth sometimes. Because he knows that physically I'm gonna whip your ass, but in the long game, I'm betting on Batman.
Yeah,
and sometimes you can, because the Dragon King is kind of like their version of Batman. You ain't gonna fuck with him. You may not have our superpowers and stuff, but he's so damn freaking smart and savvy that he'll fuck us up some other kind of way. So that's what that's the vibe I got from it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And the rest of that is semantics. It doesn't matter. Like, because look, when you're dealing with these extreme characters that are from comic books, the way that they go about talking and moving and everything else is so different, compared to what you would get with humans. They tend to have all these little rules and boundaries and stuff. These characters are different. So you don't really want to look at them in the same fashion. You sort of want to break them down as you get them as a character.
They don't have rules. Why do you think Wizard got killed?
I'm talking about the basic rules that humans have. Like, it's so bland and it's in a circle.
These are still humans. They're just superhuman. They're just superhuman.
I think in this particular scenario, Dragon King kind of
no, but seriously though, they're superhuman, and the whole point for setting them up was with human qualities. I'm sorry, Danny. It was just,
they have human emotions. Yes, they have human emotions. They give them to those characters so that way, so they can relate. So you can relate to them to some degree, whether it be that, oh shoot, I want him to live or I want him to die. You have to feel something, which means that they have to have some sort of human quality, whether it be positive or negative. But after that, you get all the extreme stuff.
And what were you going to say, Danny?
Yeah.
I was just saying in this particular scenario, maybe lost my freaking train of thought now, that the Dragon King kind of operates outside of the little circle, because he said, if I remember correctly, is that don't worry, Icicle, I'm still going to follow you, yada, yada, yada. Because it seemed like Icicle wasn't certain whether or not he was on Team Injustice or was he still operating outside of in his little circle, which might be the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of situation.
Because he said, go ahead, sorry.
So I think that Dragon King kind of like Batman say, okay, I'm going to help y'all because it's what my particular wants and needs are in this particular situation. But as soon as I get what I want or need, then I'm out doing my own little thing. So that's the way the Dragon King seems to appear to me. And plus, Icicle seemed a little taken aback when he asked for the wizard's body. He was like, well, what the fuck you want with that? But what he wanted to say, but he was too scared to say, no, you can't have it. Wait, also, I think he said he was working on his daughter. So he doing something to make his daughter better or worse or whatever.
His daughter Shiv is fucking amazing. You'll see. But
hopefully she's got a twin daughter.
Danny, I like that you brought that up, because when the whole that he's not really a part of them, he tends to be a part, was well said, because there's a moment in that scene that you mentioned when he looked at Shade in the picture, who's a fucking traitor. And he says that I won't betray you like Shade. And the Shade is a piece of shit. Like, he's that dude where you go into a situation and you're like, is everybody ready? You shouldn't have to ask that shit, but you do that because there's always some flaky motherfucker in the group. Shade is that such person. Like, he ended up helping Starman fight the Injustice Society. So, like, can't stand the Shade. Fuck him. Like,
I think it's going to get good, better as they keep bringing in the characters and doing the backstory. So I'm just ready to see the next bad guy. And I'm trying to pick, and I think she's gonna pick the flip sides. I think that black girl. I don't know who the hell she's gonna be, Our Woman or
Dr. Midnight.
I don't know if the Jen gonna pick her or not.
She's gonna be Dr. Midnight.
She's gonna be Dr. Midnight.
Yeah, because they showed her in the preview and she had the goggles and shit on. And then
what is Dr. Midnight's power?
His powers is the goggles themselves. It allows him to see at night, and then he could like create shadows within darkness. So basically, make it to where you can't see, so he can fuck you up with some kind of martial arts movement. And then his owl, always comes to him. It's like pretty much like his family. Like it'll peck someone's eyes out and do different shit.
So make it nice and dark, and then make her like a pasta.
Right.
Or
so picture you're standing there, and then all of a sudden you can't see. And then you get hit with a roundhouse and an uppercut, and then like maybe the owl pokes your eye out at the same time. It's like that sort of a thing.
And
how many episodes they're gonna have in this show? I'm sorry.
Right now, I think 13, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Well, they gotta pick it up
13
because it's only like shit.
I feel like they're already moving kind of fast, but I'm like, they're doing okay.
Now the whole Hour Man situation, because I saw the little trailer, so I'm like, oh, that looks like Icicle's son. But it's actually the other guy that was in the cafeteria. Like they look ridiculously similar. So it's going to be that guy. Like in the preview, it showed him punching a car, and then he was like, I can't control it. I seem like I want to hit stuff all the time. And I'm like, I hope they get into that, because in the show, it seems like they're going to focus on the hourglass itself, giving him his powers. But in the comics, he actually took a pill. It has like a special name, but when you translate it, it translates to Marakuru. And for those of you that have been watching the Arrowverse, you know what Marakuru is. So
that's
Our
the same
Man,
thing that Deathstroke take.
Exactly. So that character is supposed to take a version of that, but we'll see what they do.
One thing I was gonna say is, and I'm gonna go back to something that John said a while back ago, is because they're getting all of these like school kids, they better show some training.
Yeah, exactly.
They better show some training.
In fact, Wildcat asked very specific questions.
Uh-huh.
How long did your dad train you?
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
She was like, "Why the hell am I listening to you?" I said, "Very good questions." So
and we had that with her, like proving that she probably did that every day, because Courtney knew where to find her every day after school because she didn't want to go home. So you knew that wasn't just, they showed it one time. That was, they showed it 2 or 3 times and then asked questions about it and proved it, and she earned it and wasn't perfect out of the gate.
Yolanda can fight, man.
Which was dope.
She's dope.
But the way it was presented is really good, and I hope they do that with all the other characters, because I think they even called Courtney out essentially in a meta way of like, well, what training did you? Well, I kind of fucked around with this.
Yeah, she did call Courtney out. She said, how long you been training, and how you know about all this stuff? And she said, how long you been doing this? And she said, about a week.
I kind of stuck at it, actually.
I started clapping when that, because look, like I'm usually the dude that's like, I'm gonna go it alone, Terrence versus the world. But at the same time, if I'm going to have a leader, I would prefer that said leader be more talented than me, smarter, faster, stronger. I'm like, if I'm rolling with you and you're like, I don't really have no training, that's a problem, because when I need you and with my skill level, I'm out there fighting people and I look to you for help and you can't help me, I don't want to be in that situation.
This did make me a little sad. Ghostfire does bring up a point. So the Wildcat suit has the powers. And I'm like, yes, I think it's the same problem with the Cosmic Staff. We're sitting back having to swallow a lot of extra stuff to be like, well, of course they're good at whatever they do. I think it's one of the things that always is like really important with characters. Like, we have to prove that Bruce Wayne can do shit without his tech. We have to prove that Tony Stark is a capable person without the suit of armor. We have to prove these characters. And I think they did a really good job with Yolanda. I hope they do it really, really well with the rest of the characters when they bring them.
They kind of embellishing on Wildcat. I don't remember in the comic book him having them powers she had.
No. His suit was armor plated.
Danny. He had like armor plating, and he had his own. Like he was a heavyweight boxing champion. He did learn
Yeah.
some kickboxing later, but like when it came to fists, out of everybody in the JSA, he was the best puncher and the
But he
strongest
can
puncher
jump off
too.
a building
Well,
and
no,
feel
No.
he
Yeah.
definitely jumped off of buildings, but here's the thing: like he had what they refer to as his 9 lives, so he would literally die and come back. So I was telling Danny and a few others that when he died at the beginning of the pilot, it was probably on his 9th life because otherwise he would have came back. But for whatever reason, they decided to give the suit powers. I guess to forego that because I don't know. Maybe they felt like explaining the whole 9 lives thing, people wouldn't take to it, so they figured that if you just give Wildcat some sort of enhanced suit, they can understand that better. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Because it
Yeah.
seems like none of them have powers, right? It's all the weapons that they're getting, right?
And then
So
I don't.
yeah,
How they gonna do the Green Lantern thing?
Oh yeah. That's what I was saying like a couple weeks ago. Like Alan Scott has a couple of kids. You know what I'm saying? He has a son and a daughter. His daughter actually was born with the Green Lantern powers, so she doesn't need a ring or anything. So like, I don't know if they're going to use one of his kids or not, but that's an avenue that they can go down. Uh, as far as the helmet of Naboo, Doctor Fate's helmet, I'm like, that's something that gives you powers as well, but it's just like you're essentially a god. So now we're just
yeah.
something else entirely. But
I'm worried that's what the show might turn into is like all the kids have these things that give them the power, and then it's kind of like essentially they're going to turn them all into Spider-Man, kind of like they have all these like crazy powers and they have to figure out how to work with it, which is like really cool for it could be potential cool storytelling and stuff. It's just, man, with 13 episodes trying to do that for multiple people while trying to do a team up, while trying to flesh out your villains, while trying to have a big showdown at the end, that is a lot of stuff to cram into one season that's not that long.
well, okay, like my thing is that I'm not worried about that at all. I think that by the time we get to the 13th episode, it's going to leave off on a certain point. And then you get season 2. Like I'm just not worried about that stuff at all. Like I know that they're going to introduce the rest of her team. Like the next episode is called Our Man and Dr. Midnight. So both of them are coming in the next episode. So then it's like, okay, the Green Lantern thing is a little different. You can't just give that to
Yeah.
somebody. It has to choose you. Same thing with
But let me make a little quick interjection here. The only person she seems to ever have any kind of communication with was the Wildcat person. How is she going to suddenly make friends? Because nobody else. She seems to be the new kid on the block. She don't know anybody. It took all of her begging and everything else to get Wildcat. So how is she going to convince
well,
two other perfectly?
They're going to
guess,
speed run it.
well,
They're
here's the thing. Like I don't know, but based off of the little scenes and stuff that I've seen, like in terms of the black chick, she saw
Yeah, she's
Yolanda. Like
yeah, she's
so there's
she'll
gonna
probably be
be
interested herself, you know.
yeah, like so there's probably going to be a conversation like, oh, I saw it, and I don't have any friends, I can help you guys. She might be really smart or some shit, you don't know. But
What do you think?
that's
She's gonna be the kid in the computer chair helping people.
well, if she's Dr. Midnight, she has to do both, but that would just
Yeah.
make her even more awesome if she can multitask like that. But like in terms of the Hour Man guy, they're probably like once those three are together, it's probably going to be something where he just either by himself, he could be beating somebody up or something, or they go to help him. He's going to get introduced in some kind of way.
Yeah.
how you think they're gonna do Brainwave Son? I think he's gonna be.
He's so interesting. That character is so fucking interesting right now. It's
You
insane.
think he may develop his dad's powers and be the brainwave until he gets out the coma? Or?
Probably like I'm assuming that like near the end of the season, like it'll start to spark, and I feel like it'll be based off of how long his dad is in that state. Like especially if he dies, that'll fast track that and like for sure. So it's either going to be by the end of the season or the beginning of the next season. But he should start to develop his own stuff fairly soon. Like it doesn't take him that long to get his stuff.
I'm really happy they gave him another layer to his character in this. It proved that he's not a gigantic stereotype piece of shit. He actually cared about Yolanda. You could totally tell in the beginning of this episode. So it was interesting to see how
want them to get that girl too. I want them to put something on her.
Oh, isn't she awful? That actress is doing a really good job of being.
I can't
She reminds
stand
me
that
of
bitch.
Joffrey from Game of Thrones, like an actress who's just nailing being a piece of shit.
She nailed that.
I gotta say though, at the moment I am not a fan of Brainwave Son because to me he's a bitch. Like when you let a female boss you around, have you noticed whenever he's around that female, he's like, "Oh, I can't say anything. Oh, nothing happened. No, don't take my phone."
He's being
I can't
by his dad every day.
No, but see that's the thing though. The fact that he has his dad, everyone else should be laughable in comparison. So I don't like his entire DNA with how he's constructing himself. Like, so he's gonna have to win.
Pum Pum is a powerful thing, brother.
No. A guy should not be a bitch. A guy should not be a bitch. So Brainwave's son is gonna have to win me over. He needs to develop some balls, which I think will happen once something tips him over the edge.
This is what I think happened. So I want to confirm it. So did that girl entice him to get the naked picture from her, or did she get it when she took his hand out the phone?
Oh, I'm 100% thinking
because that was a nitpick of mine because they didn't show how she got the picture.
It's hard to say, but like look, if it turns out we did see when she took his phone. You know, there could have been something else.
Fast.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm highlighting that moment. So that moment where she took his phone, there's a possibility that she did that later. Now, I don't know if it was like, where she intimidated him and because he's a spineless piece of shit, he just gave it to her. Like, that's why I don't like him. I'm like, you have to learn how to say no, especially when something is wrong. And it didn't even seem like he wanted to be with her. Like, he looked happier when he was with Yolanda, an actual wholesome woman, unlike that fucking bitch.
I don't think he's with her. I think he's just.
No, he was.
No, he was in the past. Like before all that phone shit happened.
That's what that 2-minute beginning is.
Yeah, like that's why she was talking to Courtney. Like I thought. No.
I'm talking about the bitchy girl. I don't think that Brainwave Son is even with her. I think she's just trying to get with him.
Now she is.
Off.
Well, she is now because she said to Yolanda, "What did you say to my boyfriend?"
Yeah,
like I said that. I've met so many.
I think she's saying that because when he said something to her, he's like, "Not now, leave me alone." I don't think they're together.
Just because she said that doesn't mean that they were actually together.
Danny, I'm not even saying you're wrong, Danny. All I'm saying is that when you boil it all down, the problems seem to be there because this dude has no balls. Like I've met plenty of females like that one with the hat that she's all in people's face and being all bossy. You have to tell her, shut the fuck up and get out of my face. That's how you gotta
do you want her to get into the kitchen and make you a sandwich too?
I hear what you're saying.
No. Oh, come on. Like,
at the same time, they're gonna realize these are high school kids.
Exactly. I agree.
So what? I was like that in high school. I told plenty of humans, shut the fuck up and get out of my face.
Oof.
You're Terrence.
Totally different.
I know. Look. I know that he is a regular bitch ass nigga. I know, but still.
He's so ginger though. That is so the opposite word I would ever use to describe Henry.
Yeah.
Yo, like, look.
Use the words on this channel, bro.
And yes, Yolanda is straight fire. She is so fire.
Yeah, she is cute.
Sorry, she's in high school, but it's fine. Actor, it's fine.
Yeah, she's probably older in real life, though, so we're good.
Fine.
Okay, fine. Like, is it okay for me to call him a spineless piece of shit?
I'll go with that. That I can identify with a little bit more. All right,
or a little bitch or something like that.
There's always. When someone is weak, trust that there is a long list of things you can call that person. That's not a problem.
Don't worry, I have an encyclopedia and a lack of self-confidence. Don't worry, I'll find that list. I'm curious. I do have two two other things I just want to bring up because I know we tend to run really long on this show because we all actually care about it. So that's a good thing. So that's a start for the show. My two things. One, I gotta say, I'm gonna do a negative and a positive. So bear with me. The negative, the run-on problem I'm seeing with this show is they have these really nice setups and their payoffs. They just miss it by that much. The ending of this, so super spoilers if you're just tuning in or anything for episode 4, when the mom shows up with the cat in the carrier and we know what the car looks like. We've seen it multiple times because Stripe's been working on it. And then we're doing all this build up with Stripesy at the lumber yard, the scrap yard.
Mhm.
And at the end, we realize something. Big reveal. My issue is these episodes keep doing the same thing. They give you they throw like a big piece of the puzzle out, so you're already kind of like, oh. And then they do the reveal. I'm like, give me the reveal. And what I'm saying is with that is when he gets to the junkyard and the black cat shows up and you go, oh, she didn't make it out of town. And then there's the car. Why bother showing me the cat carrier in the back of the car? Because I already know the car. What you should have done is showed me the car while he was looking for a part. Then we cut to the cat carrier, and then like the black cat like jumps on top of the car or something. That would have been a little better. I just think it would have been better. I think the reveal was still done pretty solid, and the reveal was good narratively.
Yeah, I like the reveal, but I didn't catch on to the cat because I didn't pay that much attention to because I'm not a lover of animals. Sorry to say that, but I
don't care. I don't care about animals either. No.
You like Black Panther, but you don't like black cats. I get you. It's fine. House cats.
Hang on. Did you just say I like Black Panther? Oh wow! But then, what the fuck?
But I thought reveal was cool.
I could have said the P word instead, but I'm still trying to keep it friendly.
Hey,
he likes that too.
Doesn't have a problem. He doesn't have a problem with pussy, right? That's not a.
Oh no!
What?
Stop! You're gonna make me blush.
Oh Lord.
You better watch or use our words, y'all. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Wait. So Danny,
let's use pum pum.
No, hell no. Like,
pum pum's a better word.
Danny, so I can't say that.
You can say beaver, cookie.
Oh, come on.
Beaver. Danny, how old are you again? About beaver.
Oh, come on. Danny, there got to be a little bit of leniency on that P word.
What have I done? What have I done? I've opened the worst can of worms. Sorry, don't call that. Don't call it
jar. Cookie jar.
Cookie jar.
Cookie.
Yeah, Danny, you're really showing your age, homeboy.
Danny. So I really, just for clarification, Danny. So pussy.
That's cool, man. The N word is a no.
Oh, okay.
Nappy dugout.
Damn, you talking about me, old boy? That's real old right there, boy. Lord.
All right, no, Danny, you know me. I need that clarification. So
when I was in boot camp, man, they call it cootie cat.
I mean,
Jody gonna be at your house.
Hey, chat, you sons of bitches in chat. If I don't see hashtag cootie cat trending on Twitter by the end of tonight,
I didn't say I called it that. I'm telling you what my drill instructor's called.
I'm just saying certain things when I hear it, I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Just say what it is.
I'm dead. I'm dying. All right. Okay. Oh fuck! I've already ruined everything. But can I say the good thing now? It's actually on top of what I was just saying, and not on top of Cootie Cat. I'm talking about. This made me actually sad that they already showed off the robot. I understand they had to kind of do that for, certain things to like get to the JSA place and travel around and kind of save Courtney's ass a couple of times. The fact that he's doing this ominous thing, going to the junkyard and getting pieces constantly for this thing he's building, how dope would that have been? And then like in episode 8, the robot's a big reveal. That would have been dope as hell.
That's what they're supposed to do. that robot is supposed to be like it's not. I'm not saying it's like no Iron Man armor, but that shit is supposed to be souped up. Like the stuff we're seeing where it's malfunctioning and he doesn't know how to use it. There's supposed to be a payoff later where people
There
see
will be.
that and then they're like, "Oh, that lousy thing again," and then it's gonna be beast as fuck, and then your jaw's gonna hit the ground. That's how that's
They
supposed to
will.
happen.
Plus, we all like once they show the trailers, they show that thing in it, so they had to show it. You know what I mean? Like they couldn't give it 8 episodes. We already knew it was coming. So
It just made me
already it wasn't bad because it was able to kind of daze Icicle, and didn't he said the only thing can hurt Icicle was Starman's staff?
something like that.
So
It was just
I think it was more just picked him up and launched him versus.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it
much
dazed
damage.
him. I didn't say it dazed him.
I was just because just the way they built it up in the episode was cool. Like even the Junkman's like, what the hell are you building? And he's like, a tank. I just thought it could have been a really interesting like 3 or 4 episode thing where he kind of disappeared for an hour every day because it's just what he does, and he hopes that like people do scrap stuff to get rid of evidence, and that's how he looks for things. And he could have had like a pseudo like bait and switch dark side of him going on, which could have been really cool.
Why I'm starting to really like Stripe is because Stripe is like a rebounder on a basketball team. Doesn't do all the scoring and stuff like Stargirl and Wildcat. They all the superstars, but he's doing the dirty work.
And can I say to all of you, all of y'all can tell me to go 100% go and fuck myself because I've 100% flipped. Which I think is kind of unfair. I still thought Luke Wilson was one of the best.
Why would I say that to you, John? Like,
I'm saying Luke Wilson has nailed it, dude.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's good. He's good in the show.
He's so solid.
While I like what they did with Stripe, I wish that they would have went with the backstory of it belonging to the Nazis and shit because that has a very sinister angle to it. Like I would have liked to have seen that.
I like the way he's doing the dirty work and figuring stuff out and trying to put the stuff together and come at it kind of a more sneaky way.
Yeah, like he's doing. Yeah, exactly. He's doing it in a way where he's like, not trying to show what's going on, but Stargirl is like she's just going first.
Yeah, she gonna get herself hurt if she don't take a step back and be like, look, I need to train. I need to do something. I mean, even the Justice League, Batman and Robin, them clowns, man, they trained. Oh my Lord!
It just would have been cool because like it would have made for a good dialogue scene where you could have had like Courtney and the other members like, yes, this is a symbol for good and this and that, and then he went into the backstory of how not everything starts with the good, but it can be used for good. That just would have been cool for me to see.
You see, I think Stargirl and them, they're gonna get their ass bust. And that's when they're going to realize they need to go through more training.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to take them to get a really good beating, and then they're going to realize they need to start listening to the pack.
I think they're going to unleash Bundy or whatever. What's his name?
Grundy.
And he's gonna whip one of their ass pretty bad.
I think he might be last because a couple of days ago they released the promotional pictures for Tigress and Sportsmaster. So it seems like they're next. Like I think the two of them are gonna beat the shit out of the team.
I done seen a scene with Sportmaster and Stargirl fighting. It seemed pretty intense.
Yes.
I think it's on the intro.
Yeah, it is. Like so I think that's kind of I think maybe they might fight multiple times because in that thing that you mentioned, Danny, like she seemed to have more skills at that point.
Uh-huh.
But for all intents and purposes, like Sportsmaster is a guy that can fight Black Manta. He could fight Deathstroke. He could fight Batman. So, and then you're teaming him up with Tigress. Like I'm like that's supposed to be a slaughter. So I want to see them get slaughtered by the two of them, and then they get their training.
Hey, let's go into the chat for a few minutes and we'll pop back out. What's this one question?
Yeah, let's go through the chat.
There's no way they make that shit.
Oh my god.
Okay, Danny, if I may, there's no way that Damon Wayans is gonna do that. Like I remember they got him for Lethal Weapon, which I thought was awesome until they got rid of the Riggs character, which was the dumbest shit I've ever seen. But like it was hard enough to get him to do that, and he fully believed in it. But In terms of Blank Man, I think what's more realistic is that he would be the overarching supervisor of the show, and then they would cast someone else.
To play
Man,
that.
don't nobody care about that.
Danny,
Well,
but
some
hold
of
on.
us do, Danny.
But Terrence, didn't Danny tell us he was gonna watch Blank Man again a few streams ago?
No, I did say I was gonna watch the Phantom Zone. Though, where you going?
Yeah,
About
you're
that?
right, Anzo. He did say that, but I don't.
Boom! You can go join them too. I'm not watching no freaking Blank Man.
You said you would, though.
Danny, I don't understand.
I lied then. I'm not watching no Blank Man.
Danny, I don't understand. Like, I want you to know that every time you send me to the Phantom Zone, it just makes me ask all these questions. Like, it's kind of like I show up to your house for dinner and you shoot me as soon as the door opens. Like, how is this happening?
And Danny,
I'm not watching no damn Blank Man.
I am taking notes.
Once was enough.
Keep saying it sounds like you're saying Black Man. I'm like, you're watching two others.
Blank Man. BLANK Man. I'm not watching.
Sure. Don't twist your words.
Danny, I'm letting you know that I am taking note of every time you put me in the Phantom Zone. And trust me, when I start streaming, your ass is gonna get kicked out in that motherfucker a couple of times.
See, you see that, Danny? The way that Anzo said that was perfect, because that is exactly how every Kryptonian feels that gets sent there. They come out, they be like, Superman, when I fucking see your ass, you're done. Like, when do
I send y'all to the Blank? I'm onto the Phantom Zone. Y'all start
Man,
talking to this bullshit right here.
mind,
When did I send y'all to the Phantom Zone?
When we talk
Every time y'all start talking this mess right here, nobody give a damn about no damn Blank Man and no damn Meteor Man.
Let me give me a moment to sift through my pain. I think if I remember correctly, the times that you sent me to the Phantom Zone was when I mentioned Blank Man or Batwoman. That seemed to be.
I damn sure don't care about no Batwoman, unless it's the girl from Riverdale that's gonna be the next Batwoman.
One more time.
It's talking about her.
All good. Let's talk about this. It's
I
fine.
need to talk about
You ain't going no damn cootie cat. Be quiet.
Another one.
What in the world?
God damn it.
Wait. Which one was worse? The Blank Man or what?
Fantastic Four. I must say, okay, I'm gonna throw y'all a bone. Fantastic Four was worse, okay?
Hey!
All right.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm not even gonna beat up my neighbor today for that. Hey, you off the hook, man.
First one was fine. The first one was fine.
No, we're talking about the last one.
No, the last one.
Oh, no, there is no. There is no such thing as a good Fantastic Four movie. They all fucking suck. All of them.
No.
Fine.
Silver Surfer wasn't bad.
Yes.
One is like
the ones with Jessica Alba. No. That's no.
And Fantastic Four 2, I think they wasted Silver Surfer.
Yeah, duh. And come on,
he had one good scene in that, and the rest of it was like.
That's my favorite scene when he choked out the Human Torch. He was
right.
like, "Get this boring ass comic book character out of here." That shit was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And then he did nothing else.
So dope. He's so cool.
And then
he
did
is so
nothing
cool.
else.
The voice of Lawrence Fishburne. I was like, I'm with you. This is the
really
only reason that I care.
One? Come on, man.
Not really.
I thought the first one was good.
No, they're all look. I can watch them. I can watch them. Look, I can watch them and be entertained by them, but they're all still trash. Kevin Feige will be the first one to make a good Fantastic Four movie, and this is coming from a guy that I've read their comic books, and they're fucking boring as shit, except for the Thing. The Thing is cool, but the team is fucking.
I don't know. Johnny Storm is badass. Like everybody wants.
Not.
Everybody wants that power.
Nope, the Thing. I want to see the Thing because I want to see him fight the Hulk. That shit would be dope. Fuck the Fantastic Four.
Like I gotta make the bullshit though. Like I always get mad about this. Like how'd you waste Michael B. Jordan? Like one of the most like lovable fucking dudes in the world. You had him as like a cool fucking superhero. I get that we like bent him, but he was cool as fuck.
The actor that plays Doom on there, I think he's a very good actor too, but he was totally wasted.
Just a bunch of good actors, man. It all
there are good actors in all of them. That is the pattern.
But the first one was cartoony, and I like
the and on the fire, Storm, the Storm brother and sister, their dad, he's a top notch actor. I think he died here last year.
Yeah, after Luke Cage season 2.
Yeah.
Such bad. It's just such bad writing in that show. It was Josh Trank, man. I believe is the guy who penned that for the most part, but he's come out and like pretty much said I fucking hate it.
And there was a rumor that they wanted to actually make Sue black, but I think the studios nixed that.
I didn't mind she was white.
That would have been.
I didn't mind that.
Well, they could have just been adopted brother and sister.
I think
that's what they did do.
Yeah, that's what they did do.
At that point,
what I'm saying is, it's like, why is it just like I think of what it was fine. It was just in a shitty film.
Just make a good Fantastic Four movie. Stop race swapping the characters and just make a proper Fantastic Four. Kevin Feige, are you listening? I trust you. You're gonna do it.
But you guys don't believe that. If I've learned anything on Twitter, no black person believes in we need to make our own characters. We got to race swap. It's like, come on, man. Like, why not just make better shit than us? I don't know. Like,
I don't mind black characters that they can use.
Okay, but I don't mind the race swapping.
Neither do I.
Good.
As long as
if it's good, that is the only time.
Okay, that's what I said. If they make a Superman 2 and it ain't Henry Cavill and it's damn Denzel Washington, if it's fucking awesome, I'm gonna watch it. I don't care what.
As long as it's that black Superman from a different universe,
I don't care if they say his name is Carmen Kent. I don't care if it's good. I don't care.
But look. That's the silliness. It's like if Warner Brothers are like, Terrence, we're gonna do a black Superman. I'm like, okay, that exists. What's his name? And if they don't say that one that was based off of Barack Obama, I'm like, you don't have to do that to Clark when you already have one. Or did you fuckers not read the comic book?
Okay,
you know,
I hear what you're saying. But me and Anzo had this same discussion yesterday on the show. If you got canon, you do what the hell you want with it. You just gotta either like it or don't like it.
That is so discerning.
But why though? Why is that discerning?
No.
It's your property. It's your property. You paid the money for it.
You bought it.
Disney paying $4 million for Lucasfilm. If they want to change everything else, we ain't gonna like it. And if you don't like it, don't spend your hard-earned money.
I'll tell this person this
too. That's all terrible.
If Bobby Totem walked into my office, he's like, Terrence, I'm gonna do this, and that. I'd be like, look, every fiber of my being is saying you're a fucking idiot and I should toss you out that window. I'm gonna give you one fucking chance. That is all you get. And if you don't fucking knock this shit out, like it's gonna be a problem.
Okay, Terrence, let me ask you this question. What is the difference in that and you seeing after all your films? Please subscribe, But if you don't, I don't give a fuck. What's the difference?
The difference being is that what I'm doing is for my platform, right? Like I don't have a responsibility to respect the fans. Like if I'm doing somebody else's stuff, if they put me in charge of Mega Man or whatever it is, I'm gonna be like, the Mega Man fans or whatever, they're expecting a certain thing with their property. So it would be disrespectful of me to come in there and piss all over and do what I want. No, I'm not gonna. Like what I would do is I will listen to the fans. Like I'm not gonna do everything that they want because I still have the creative control, but there are things that are reasonable. If they say, everybody's like, hey, you know what? Could you do this origin and do this story? I'd be like, yeah, we could do that. And then in the second one, blah, 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 blah. That's what I would do. So that way they can be happy and ain't no problems.
But if that's not what your vision is, why the hell do you care what the fans want? Like I'm saying, no, hold on. Now, if I buy a property and I see Star Wars, let's say Star Wars, going in a direction that I want it to go in, I'm not going to listen to what the fans say because those fans that are going off like that are a minority. They're the minority. They're not the ones that are going to make my movie make $1 billion. It's going to be the regular people that keep coming back and coming back and coming back. So my obligation is to do it for the people that are going to come back and watch the movie. The fans that don't like it, they'll probably won't like it regardless of what I do.
Okay, see now that you said that, I'm gonna say this. If I'm making a movie, naturally I want as many things. Like I know that a lot of people need to watch my product in order for it to be successful. However, when there's always going to be that human in the crowd that's like, why would you let these small number of people get in the way of your vision? First of all, my position is different because I am a fan. So my vision will be in league of what I would want to see if I'm an audience member.
Okay.
That will be my vision. So
But
that's different.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Civil War is nothing like the comic.
Correct.
But it's a great movie.
Need to be.
So they did not listen to the fans about Civil War had to be done this way or that way. They did it the way they wanted to, and it made money. So what I'm trying to say
this is true.
Now, okay.
But if you want to bring up Civil War, then the humans listening need to know this. Number one, Civil War was a last minute thing because they got scared of Batman and Superman in the same movie. That's number one. But number two, number two,
had to actually fight to have Iron Man in. The studio said no.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that,
Jr. Kevin Feige had to fight for Robert Downey Jr. to come into that film. Imagine that movie without Robert Downey Jr.
But regardless of that, I'm not talking about bringing him in or bringing him in. I'm saying it's totally different than the comic.
Okay. Here's the thing.
That's
though.
my point.
The outline of Civil War is there. It's not completely different. All they did was they didn't do the Fantastic Four stuff. They didn't do the X-Men stuff. They didn't do the Blade stuff. Yeah, they didn't do that stuff that they couldn't use. And then also there was like 500 less characters, but the DNA of the story was there. So for me, when he announced that they were going to do that, I'm like, as long as you have the DNA makeup, Cap versus Iron Man, this idea versus that one, the government forcing people to register, that is what you need. And then anything else, I'm like, there's no way they're going to do that. I was having a deep conversation with my friends. We're like, we want that, but that's not what we're going to get. So the best thing that we can hope for as fans is that they just do the basic foundation. And then we'll see if it happens to be a good movie. It was, and I was happy.
Okay. I can oh my God, for the love of everything in my soul.
Here we go.
Yep, you're welcome. You all bring this on yourselves.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You knew what I was about.
I love this. Go ahead. Yeah.
So the worst part is I feel like I'm on an island on my own. Because here we go. One, we're gonna have let's tackle you guys first. The fucking you bought it, you get to have it. That is fucking insane.
Why?
Let me put it into another medium for you. When dipshit Scarelli or whatever bought some patent to a fucking drug and he bumped it 7,000%, he owned it. He gets to do whatever he wants with it. Is that fine? And people go,
if that's what he wanted to do, yes. It may not be fine with the people that are suffering because of it, but he owned it. If he wanted to do that, if he wanted to fuck everybody, I'm not giving it to nobody. He could do that because he owns it. So no matter what you want to say, you can say whatever you want to, but if he owns it, I do whatever I want to.
John ain't bad. Then
fine.
You're gonna do exactly what you're gonna do.
Then I'll get off that one then.
But honestly though, at the end of the day, right? Whatever someone does with a product that has already been established, it does come down to preference. That's why I brought up the whole Civil War thing for the humans listening. It's very important to be able to break down all the individual areas. It's never just as simple as you can't or you can. It is very much an individual type of thing. You have to approach each situation differently.
But don't tell me $1 billion is good for you when you have no longevity. I cannot get over this argument because I think it's silly. You buy a product that has been known to do well for over 3 decades, and somehow, even with the prequels, don't get me wrong, there was some discourse. Fucking hell. Nothing like I've ever seen than after Disney taking it over.
Right.
This shit has been around for 30 years, and you're telling me the MCU, who's done 10 years, you're seeing a disarray with the group of people And I haven't seen it so fervored until we got a Captain Marvel Infinity War Endgame, and Game of Thrones is a good example where you start to see this weird disconnect with people who liked the medium originally and kind of stuck around, and then the people who loved the original medium and said fuck that, and then the people who liked the original medium and had to deal with all these new people who showed up for the event, and then all of a sudden we're just not talking about it anymore. Game of Thrones is gone.
John,
How it ended.
But regardless of anything, we're gonna stop talking about it sooner or later.
That is so untrue, though.
John, if
how
I may,
long has Odysseus been around? How long has Greek mythology been around? How long has the Bible been around?
Okay,
and we made a movie about Passion of the Christ.
but John,
That's
if I
canon
may,
is based on basically the Bible.
Stories are stories are
John.
stories. Stories will always be redone and rehashed and brought back.
You mentioned Game of Thrones, so I got to say this. I've said this before, but I have some really good friends that love that show, man. Like since it started, like I never got into it. I watched a few episodes. I'm like, yeah, this is great storytelling. Friends. So I said, this has great storytelling, great characters. I like the way that they use the camera. This is a well-made show, but unfortunately, I'm not entertained by it. But look, when it got to the final season, it started episode 1, 2, whatever. They said nothing to me about it. So I thought that was odd. It was like I had to come to them. I was like, hey man, what's going on with Game of Thrones? Like, did that last season start yet? They was like, man, this is fucking terrible. And
I left at 5.
I was shocked because they normally for the longest time they're like, T, this is the best show ever made, and you gotta watch it and stuff. But they stopped saying that.
Right. And a lot of
so to your point about how you have humans that at one point they can liken and fall off. That is probably the biggest fall off that I've seen, where collectively you had over 1 million people wanting them to redo the entire last season. I've never seen any shit like that before. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's fine. It happens, right? Because you got to understand, you got a show that's running for 8 years. You're not gonna have a great season, and sometimes shows like that, like Lost and shit, those things are hard to end, right? Those things are hard to figure out how to end it. Sometimes, they contradict themselves like they did in certain things in Lost, right? Yeah. But at the same time, it's not that easy just to say, okay, well, we're going to end it like this. And another example is look at Rise of Skywalker. Mm-hmm. That movie was fan service and it was shit. So regardless of what you want to say, they followed fans. They made her a Palpatine because before that movie was even out, everybody was saying, "Oh, I bet you she's going to be a Palpatine. I bet you she's going to be a Palpatine." And then what happened? She ended up being
they threw a bunch of stuff. They threw a bunch of stuff at the wall to make it work, right?
Right. And what they did was they got from fans. All the stuff that they got in that movie were from the fans. Yes, it was.
No, I'm not saying it's not. But all I'm saying is that
not.
I'm just saying that they threw a bunch of stuff at the wall to make it work. But according to these Game of Thrones fans, the show was bad before the last season. There was a lot of sloppiness and things.
I don't know about Game of Thrones.
But now for me, I don't know a lot about Game of Thrones, but this is just what I was told. The drop off was just stupid. It's just, this is not even about, oh well, it's all great, but they're trying to figure out this final episode. Humans can understand it. Like maybe you dropped the ball in the final episode, but like from it's either the last season or even arguably the seasons before, the couple seasons before it. Like John, where'd you say you fell off at?
Pretty much mid-5.
Okay, see, there you go.
Yeah, but for me, like from what I've seen or what I've heard, I haven't heard anybody say it was bad until the 8th season. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying on my personal end, I haven't heard anyone say it was bad until season 8.
But
John is not the only one that has said that. But from my perspective,
I never heard it.
Circles. What I'm talking about is if we're going to talk about money, that's where I'm talking. People bought merchandise. People bought all this stuff. People had Westeros posters and books and Game of Thrones Oreos and all this shit. And then season 8 ends, and we don't see any of that shit anymore. It's all clearance. Same with Rise of Skywalker stuff. Nobody's buying any of that shit. You used to walk into a Target or a Walmart, and they'd have a whole line. It was just Star Wars. And so don't tell me about money.
But it's not just that. Times are changing, bro. It's not just that. Times are changing. People aren't really buying toys anymore.
Oh, come on. Oh, my God.
People aren't buying toys anymore.
Wow.
I'm just not even going to say anything.
I'm not buying toys anymore. Right? My son is old. I'm not talking about like little kids and stuff. You understand?
No, adults. Like,
yes.
I know so many adults that be like, yo, T, when I go to Comic-Con, I am getting this fucking replica. I'm getting it. They got their whole Christmas list there. These are adults.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a minority. It's not the majority. It's not the majority. It's the minority.
It's not
fans,
the average
it's
person,
fans like
but it's
us.
thousands and thousands of people, though.
Fans like us, which are the minority.
The majority didn't. They're not the reason why this got remade. They saw all the money being made and the conventions that people were going to and the fervor on the internet. Yeah. That's why this stuff gets remade.
And it's Star Wars, right?
It
come
has
on,
a name.
Yeah,
Predator.
It has a name.
I know that.
Terminator.
I know that. And Star Wars.
Well, not so much Terminator though.
Well, now thanks to Fate and Genesis, but
Star Wars will always have movies.
I got a question. How about if Disney they have Star Wars now, and their direction wasn't what the fans wanted, but they went another direction and it was successful, and the fans love it. So, what would be the argument in there? When you look at it, you be like, when you look at it and say, "Man, that's not my Star Wars. That ain't Luke. That ain't whatever the case may be." But the story and everything is fantastic.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, Danny. And that's what I'm saying, Danny. The only reason why people are talking about Star Wars now is because they didn't like the direction it went in. But had people have liked these movies, we wouldn't hear this stuff.
I can't with that.
Well, yeah, but that's true. But see, here's the thing, though. For me, I want to be entertained, and then hopefully, in the midst of said entertainment, I'm not seeing a bunch of fucking silly ass writing.
Exactly, I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? But so at the end of the day, I am a Star Wars fan, and I just want to see good material. And when I'm seeing things that are making my brain hurt and just a bunch of forced silliness and contradictions, that's when I start to have issues with it.
You see, the thing with me is I can outweigh the good with the bad. So when I watch the prequels, I know there's bad in the prequels, but my good for the prequels outweigh the bad.
I think the prequels are much better than
the sequel trilogy. The bad outweighs the good for me, and that's the issue that I have with it.
Well said. Let me make this disclaimer on this part, and then I'm gonna let y'all have the floor again. All I'm saying is, if you buy, purchase, pay for whatever property, whether you want to admit it or not, you can do whatever you want to do with that said property legally. It may not be popular. It may be popular. I'm just saying, but that's what I'm saying. You can't say about canon. Canon is going to change based on the preference of that owner. Whether you agree with what the owner does.
You can say that.
Okay, I don't interrupt you when you're talking. Do I interrupt you when you're talking? I don't. Okay, I see you to the Phantom Zone. All I'm saying is, let me finish this, and you can talk. If I buy that property for $4 billion, I'm gonna do the hell with what Danny Graham want to do with it, and I don't care if John, Terrence, whoever don't like it. It's my money. It's my property. That's what I'm saying. Disney is saying and doing. I ain't saying I agree with it. I agree with y'all saying they should stay to EU. They should stay to whatever the content, whatever the current canon is, but they don't. So you can't. If you want to hurt Disney, you got to stop paying for it. Don't go to the movies.
That's
don't give them your dollars. As long as you go there and give them your dollars, you're not hurting them.
So Danny, I'm not saying that I disagree with anything you said. You know, you didn't hear me say, Danny, you're wrong. No.
Yeah, when we break it down to brass tacks, I totally agree.
I'm making a statement. I'm not asking for whether you agree or not. I'm just making
but I'm just want you to understand my position that I don't think you're wrong. But at the same time, when you or anyone else, like how I said before, when you ask me what I would do, you can't use me as an example because I'm too different. It doesn't work. Like for the same reason as to why, if they come to me and they want to cast me in something for the same reason that I would turn that down being a fan. I just wouldn't do certain things. It's not, I don't need to think about it. It's just a no. They'd be like, oh, well, what if we, you up the money and then we can give you this production? I'm like, no, because I'm looking at it from a fan perspective. I wouldn't want that. So naturally, I'm going to say no. And I hope that you find someone and I hope that it turns out well. But I cannot give 100% to this if I think it's an insult and it's disrespectful. I can't do that.
So if they asked you to play Clark Kent, you wouldn't do it?
No, hell no. I'd tell them, I would say this. They would come to me, I'd say, look, there are plenty of black DC characters. Why can't I play one of them? Or why can't I play the actual Superman that's black that people don't know about?
It's easy.
That's what I would say.
For me, it's easy to say that, yeah, we should get new black characters, and I get it. We should. But if you know you can turn Superman into a black guy and make more profit than you can actually making a new black character, I have no problems with that.
But you don't
know. I understand that. And most humans will probably say that. But again, my position is there's no way that I would accept that. Absolutely not. Because when they bring me in, the casting and all this stuff, they don't know me. They don't give a damn about Terrence. I'm a nobody. They don't give a shit about me until I become important. So they don't know that more than likely I have way more information than they do. They just have the money and they can make shit and get this director and all that. I'm like, look, man, you don't know me, but this is wrong. You shouldn't do this. Oh, well, this is what we want to do. That's fine. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm making a suggestion. But as far as you asking me to be a part of this bullshit, I cannot. And I would walk out the door.
So let me try and swing all three of these points together just for the sake of everything. One, if somebody came to me and said, you want to be the new Clark Kent, I'm not going to do it. I don't look the part. I'm too fucking fat. No, I really wouldn't. And the vitriol and stuff, I don't think I could personally take it. I'm more of a director. I'm not much of an actor. I prefer to direct and edit. So no, honestly, if they came to me, I would say no. Because there's probably a billion other people way better for the job is where I'm also at. Two, I'm going to go with, I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. I'm not even as big a Star Wars guy, but I understand the fervor for Star Wars and the longevity it has. Star Wars is yet to be there, but they're getting damn close. They did fuck my world up with Hobbit. I don't like it. You saw the difference between something that was, you watch behind the scenes and stuff from the first Lord of the Rings and the way that these people cared about it, including the actors, including the writers, had a female writer, by the way, editors and all this stuff. And they really cared about it. And then you go into the Hobbit, Peter Jackson didn't even want to do the film. He was very unhappy.
Yeah, I know. They even forced him to do 3.
Yeah, and they're using GoPro footage, and it's just silly. And my thing is that I understand that you bought it. That's fine. Yes, on a legal standpoint, on a whatever, we're not going to talk about any other stuff. On a basic standpoint, yes. But then why do you buy something that you seem to then hire people and move it in a direction where it almost feels like you actively do not care about it? And as a guy who's like, I watched the original 3 Star Wars again. They're good. Not great. Return of the Jedi is kind of fucking ridiculous, except it has some really good payoff. But it has some really good payoffs. Like we laugh at Ewok stuff. We laugh at a couple other things. But the payoffs are really, really nice. It's kind of like, I think it's the disconnect with Endgame that we have now, where there's a lot of solid payoffs, but it hurts a lot of people who really, get into the brass tacks of the individual movies and really care about lore and shit. There is a disconnect. So there are stifles of fans, as much as people are like, oh, that's gatekeeping. Fuck off. People care more and more and more than you. Just calm down. We all have our levels. Like Lord of the Rings, I'll fucking fight for that film. Every day is one of the best trilogies, cinematic masterpieces. But I don't have a fucking room filled with all the swords and costumes. I just don't. But I think it's one of the greatest films ever made. But I guarantee you there's other people who have fucking Hobbit shit all everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
I know a few.
My whole thing is that to discredit the idea of these fans who have made these franchises really strong and made these companies go, there's money in this. To immediately discount them, I think is the first thing that everybody does and does it consistently, and I think it's kind of shitty.
But you're assuming they're discounting them. They're not. They're not expecting to make a Star Wars movie that's garbage. They filled it with their agenda, which was fucked up. It messed up the movie, but that was not their plan.
But
and you're making it seem like their plan is to go. Well, you know what?
Okay.
Huh? You're making it seem like their plan is to go and make. You know what? We're gonna make a Star Wars movie that's crap.
Watch
Here's the thing, like
what it felt
when
like
it comes to these
Last Jedi.
Oh, I seen the Last Jedi.
Was the nostalgia bomb.
The Last Jedi was not made to be a crap movie. It wasn't. Every movie, every company that makes a movie, they're making it to make money. They're not using it to make a crappy movie. It just so happens that they make a movie that people don't connect with.
When it comes to movies and shows, it is a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, these humans want to make money. Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm going to connect myself to a project, while of course, naturally they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we want to make money. I'm like, that's fine. But for me, if I get the inkling that they care more about that and they're not as passionate as I am, we have to separate, because now our visions are not going to be the same. And we're probably going to end up with a sloppy ass piece of shit if we stay together. To me, passion is more important. The fact that they need to say stuff that I like, oh man, man, we want to tell these stories and they haven't seen it like this. We want to be faithful and this and that. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm with you. But as soon as they no, we don't care about that. You just got to make money because it's a business. That's what it's about. I'm like, yeah, you're saying obvious shit, but why do I need to be here? And then if they don't say something, then I'll be gone.
About who's buying it, then what are you making?
And I will tell you this. Star Wars was only crap because they did not have a fucking direction. All right? They did not know where they were going with these movies. Now, if they had sat down when they made The Force Awakens and said, this is the start and this is how we're going to finish it, this is the middle movie, then they would have been better movies. Regardless of what you want to say about them, they would have been better movies, more coherent movies.
And I love that. And can I go off of this? And this is not me, swear to God, I'm trying to keep my eyes as open so you can tell. This is not me saying anything, because I've heard that argument a lot, which I totally agree with. Do you think it's disrespectful that they did that? They didn't. They made these 3 movies without a plan, and
yes,
and they figured these people would just eat anything that said Star Wars.
Exactly, because that's Kathleen Kennedy. That was her thinking. You know what I mean? They don't understand. She doesn't understand the lore of Star Wars. That's why I say whenever you watch that episode with Dave Filoni where he's breaking it down, he gives the best breakdown of Star Wars other than George Lucas ever did. And he tells you straight up, Star Wars is about family. There was nothing in these fucking sequels that was really about family.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question
at the end.
Let me ask you a question, John.
Yeah.
What's your favorite restaurant where you live at?
I gotta know why you're gonna equivalent that.
I'm going to use this. I'm going to use that as an example.
Because that's really hard. I don't really go to restaurants, but I'll say a pizza place.
Let's say a pizza place.
Let's go with Godfather's. Sure.
Godfather's is the best pizza you had for however long, 10 years.
Absolutely.
And Godfather's sold it to somebody else, and they said, "I'm going to use the same formula, but when you go to Godfather's, it tastes a little bit off and it ain't the same." And you talk to the new owner and say, "What happened?" He said, I just decided to put a different flavor or something in there, a different formula."
It's really awesome that you're going this way, because you're not.
If you don't like it,
you're not going to get it.
And if you don't like it, are you going to keep going back to the Godfather, or are you going to find somewhere else?
I fucking left. I lived in Florida. Godfathers. The only Godfathers I could find was in a gas station.
That is Disney right there.
And guess what? But you can't fucking use that, because I stopped going and buying their stuff.
If you want to hurt Disney, about Star
Danny.
Wars stuff, then you're gonna stop paying your money.
And I have been.
And I will
Don't
tell you
be
this.
like that. It doesn't
And I
work
will
that
tell you
way.
this. I will tell you this. Star
Or
Wars,
maybe you're just making the
people will always go see Star Wars. It may not always make money as a profit,
I didn't.
but people will always go see. Yeah, but that's you. But look how much money Rise of Skywalker made.
Could have made more.
It could have, but it still made money.
Should have
Right?
They all they all made $1 billion. Well,
Right
The
now,
Force
$1
Awakens
billion
made 2.
is the standard. If you make $1 billion,
Isn't
you're
that
successful.
sad? Isn't that fucking sad?
Why?
Shit, I wish I could make a movie, make $1 billion.
It's sad
with
that,
a
like,
horror
It depends on the budget, right? Like if you
right.
It depends on the budget.
Joker
Like
getting $1 billion was fucking incredible.
if your budget is $100 million and you make 600 million, you're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Or if
Like,
you make 100, like Joker, 70 million made $1 billion.
Without China, that's
Without
insane.
China, right.
China on top of that.
Okay,
so
but the point is, it's $1 billion. So regardless,
garbage, though.
how much was Last Jedi's Rise of Skywalker budget?
Rumor is about 300 to 400 million because
it made a little more than $1 billion.
Because
it made a little more than $1 billion, right? And the budget was about 300 million. Plus, you add the advertising in there.
So they usually
it was
say,
successful.
So
they still made a profit, right?
Barely.
Yeah, it was successful
on the end of a 30-year saga, as they promoted it.
I understand that, but they still made
game by like.
But I understand
that. It was $275 million was the budget.
Danny,
275 million. Okay.
Yeah, Danny, to go off of what you said, right? Like I've said many times, like I'm different. Like if I were at Comic-Con and Kevin Feige were to say, what would we have to do, or what would we have to mess up to stop you from watching MCU movies? And I would say, you can't get rid of me because I've been a fan of Marvel since I was a kid. There's nothing you can do to get rid of me indefinitely. Like what's going to happen is I'm one of the few exceptions to where I'm going to show up no matter what. Even if I see a trailer that doesn't excite me, I'm like, it's Marvel, I'm going. So,
me too.
So then DC has proved that time and time again. Like they pump out shit more often, and people still show up and defend it.
I love DC, but the same thing goes for them. Even more so because I'm a bigger DC fan. But anyways, like in terms of that, I would say no. You have me no matter what. I will be honest with my opinions and issues that I have, and I will couple that with knowledge that I have too. And then I'll just break it down that way and be fair to where a lot of humans are not going to be fair. It is what it is. But when there is a ridiculous amount of passion, you can tell when you talk to the person, you know, as to where a lot of people, I don't care. Oh, that doesn't matter. I'm like, well, to some it does. And when now you're talking about partnerships and businesses like this panel here, if, you know, we have our passion and stuff, but at the same time, aside from all the trivial bullshit that doesn't matter, if we didn't get along as individuals, we wouldn't be on this panel together. It wouldn't work. It's not just enough to be like, oh, I like Star Wars too. That's not enough.
Absolutely. I agree.
And here's where I can. Go ahead, Anta.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I did not like any, and it's maybe unpopular opinion, but I didn't like any of the Disney Star Wars movie. None of them. I didn't like any of them. I didn't like Rogue One. The Disney Star Wars movies.
I'm with you.
I didn't like any of them.
Hyundai.
I didn't like any of them.
Like Rogue One?
Nope, I did not like Rogue One.
The last 5 minutes of Rogue One's.
I'd even give you
that's all I liked of it.
Yeah,
the rest of it, I didn't.
Cool. I can watch that on YouTube.
Right, I didn't like the characters. I didn't feel them or anything. But my point is this: they make a new Star Wars movie, and they can make a new Star Wars movie for 10 years from now, and I will still be there first day.
I didn't go see Solo in the movies. I saw that on TV.
I seen Solo in the theater. First day.
That was one of the most empty theater experience I've had. I think the only one that was worse than that was Dragon Ball Evolution. But yeah,
so I went to see Brightburn. It was nobody but me and two old ladies.
That sucks too, because I've heard
those are my two emptiest ones. That's just me. Like
Brightburn.
But yeah, like I mean, like some of my friends, like they're like, man, you say anything Mjolnir or whatever, they're walking away rolling their eyes. Like to them, you could just piss on everything and they just won't care. They really only care about oh, that was a cool movie or not. They don't want to hear nothing about no lore, how that partner's not supposed to be his partner and whatever. They don't care about that. But for me, they'll sit there and watch me just lose my shit at some of the smallest things. I'm just like, what? They killed so and so. What? And they're just like, T, man, why do you care? And I'm like, because I have passion. And then one in particular, he's very big on baseball. And I said to him, I was like, look here, human, how do you feel about baseball? He's like, oh, I love it, man. I get mad when the teams don't win and stuff. I'm like, that's how I feel about this stupid ass comic book shit that you say. Same thing.
Fair enough. Yeah. So here's an argument I've had for a while, and this is not to offend you guys or anything. It's something that's part of the culture. I go, when you're making these kind of films, these huge like anthology, or not necessarily anthology, but like these big films that are encompassed inside of this lore and like huge fandoms, and the fandoms are gonna care. Like they're gonna care. You guys don't care about the trigonometry, as you've said.
No, I do.
I think that's only me.
Me too, Danny. No, I don't really care.
I was pushing a little bit on both, just to be nice, because I feel like the sides have been pushed, and we're on the bottom. So
where you guys belong.
You nailed it.
I don't know about that. Terrence being on the bottom. I will fucking fight my way to the top. Go ahead.
Whatever. I'm sure you wouldn't mind being a
I would be your bitch.
I'm gonna fight my way, John. Fuck that. That's my entire life. Like you're not standing over me.
I don't know. If a hot chick shows up, I might let her dom a little bit. But anyway, neither here nor there. Sorry, I you had a little peek into my life.
That's fine, John, as long as it's in a bedroom scenario. You better not be bitch ass Icicle's son. Like
I will try to keep my camera off when that happens on these streams.
I won't.
God damn it.
I'll tell you now, if one of you does a porn, like I'll buy it to support it, but I'm not watching it. Just let you know now.
I'll work out just for you. And I'll call them humans. Anyway, we're getting off track.
Way off track.
As we do. So I'm thinking about the idea of like, so you guys show up, you're going to show up if it says the thing. And I'm not saying that is a derogatory thing. You're going to show up. It's the brand. Let's hope it's going to be good. Optimism.
100.
Me, I'm kind of the guy who feels like he's gotten burned a lot, seeing kind of, Terminator Dark Fates, Genesises and whatnot. Predators and over and over again. So my whole thing is if you guys are just going to show up and just enjoy it for the most part, enjoy it for what it is, I'm going to show up regardless. Why not? Then this is where I go. Why not have all the fucking turbo nerds helping you fucking write this and making sure it works, because you guys will eat it and we're going to sit and absorb it after the fact. So not only do we get your money.
Okay, turbo nerd. Okay, look, these turbo
Come on, I'm there too. Calm down. I asked you to wait.
Listen to what I'm saying. These turbo nerds or whatever you're going to call them, I'm like, look, if they're gonna bang on my door or take time to send me a letter about something that they would like, I feel like it would just be respectful for me to listen. At least consider it or some shit, not go, this is my vision, fuck you. Like, no, definitely.
Well, again, like I would tell people, the internet is this plethora of first of all, comic books are just built-in storyboards. So it's insane to me that we are so off base on some of the films, like
exactly. Venom. What the fuck? That shit has visuals for you to fuck. Oh man.
So you literally could make the film and people are like, they don't want that. It's like, Disney's been literally remaking their films for the last 5 years, so that's not our argument.
We don't know what to do. I'm like, did you not see the 200 comics on your fucking desk and you're telling me you don't know what to do?
So my whole deal is...
They don't always work either, because some of the Disney live action is sell crap. So, I mean, that doesn't always work either.
You guys are going to go watch it. They'll get your money. You might see it a second time because it's fun. Whatever. You're going to buy the DVD. That's awesome. People like me or some of the other people who have these huge fandoms like Jurassic Park, I probably own half of the toys in my life. I bought puppets. I'm insane.
Dinosaurs eating humans. I'm there.
I love me some dinosaurs, and I'm sure Terrence loves seeing humans be eaten. So
hell yeah, I'll be cheering the loudest.
So like I'm saying is like if you guys had a nice romp in Jurassic World versus me and the other, like, 20,000 people who fucking eat, live, and breathe Jurassic Park shit. Who are you trying to make the film? You should make the film for the fucking nerds who know everything, because you guys will like it regardless. If you get the longevity, not only can the turbo nerds call people and make more turbo nerds that will transcend time. You see all the online stuff going, I really hated the sequel trilogy, so I'm going to show my children the original trilogy to prove that it's good, kind of shit going on.
But
and like I'm saying is they're the ones who are going to buy every toy. They're going to buy the blankets. They're going to decal their car. They're going to do all the crazy ass shit, and they're the lifers. And if you make it for them and they sign off on it, why not let all the
because making it for them doesn't necessarily mean that the masses is gonna like it.
But I'm saying that's the hard part.
I've addressed that many times before. I'm like, look, the masses, okay, they show up to this movie, and I'm talking to this director. Everybody's showing up and stuff. I'm like, because they're here. If you would have given him his jacket, it wouldn't have made any fucking difference, because these guys don't know shit anyway.
Exactly.
So you can just do that. They're like, oh, well, we wanted to put our own vision. I'm like, but as you can see, people turned out. Do you really think it would make a difference that you gave him his actual jacket instead of spending 2 months on how you're going to make it different? You're wasting fucking time. Hello?
Yeah, okay. If you're talking about the visuals, I can understand that. It doesn't make a difference, right?
I'm talking about story and longevity.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're talking about story, and that's what I'm saying. When you're talking about the story, like I said, a lot of regular fans don't know the shit that we know, right? So you got to make the movie that's going to actually get the regular fans and the nerds in at the same time. That I can agree.
Trigonometry sucks.
But if you're not doing that,
geometry sucks.
See that?
But if you're not doing that, then you go with the majority, which is the people that aren't regular fans like us.
And that's fair, Anzo. But here's the thing: this is why, in the case of Superman, I would walk out, because unlike so many other countless IPs, everybody knows what that is. They know what he looks like and everything. Yeah. So you can't get away with certain things in the way that you can other IPs, where you could just slip it under the radar. So that's even more of a reason I'm like, no. I'm like, you want to do what to Superman?
So if they casted Idris Elba to play Superman, Clark Kent Superman, you wouldn't go see it?
I'm gonna watch it because it's DC. But again, I don't count.
I would wait for word of mouth.
If it's, again, like I said many times, if it's good, I want everything to be good because I gotta watch it. But at the same time,
I'd be worried why he picked it.
Exactly, because it would be pandering, and then you would also have people like, you would have a certain amount of backlash that you don't have to deal with if you just do the shit the way you're supposed to do it.
You probably would, but what would be wrong with doing that and trying to get more black people in the seats?
Because then I would correct them. I'd be like, look, not you, Anzo. I'd be like, look here, human. If you want to use Idris Elba, why don't you just make him fucking Steel? Why don't you do a movie with Superman and Steel? There you go.
Right.
And then they would just have the jaws on the ground.
And they could do that. But what movie would make more money? Steel or Superman?
And that's unfair to say that, because
like I said, okay, but here's the thing, like, okay, Steel, okay, I don't know how many humans remember that awful Shaq movie. Shaq is cool, but he can't act. He sucks. But it's just, my thing is like, look, before you do, like, what I would tell them, like, I don't know how many humans they remember that Shaq thing, but what you can do is, because John Henry Irons looks up to Superman. They are best friends in the comic book. So what you can do is you can have him and Superman in the same movie, and then you can do his own thing, and you show them the beauty of his origin. There's a smart way that you approach this.
Absolutely, I understand that 100%, and I agree with that 100%. But I'm just saying, let's say they had a choice. They had Idris Elba, and they said, we're going to cast him as either Steel or Superman. Which one do you think would make more money? Because I'll tell you, we know who Steel is, but a lot of people don't.
That's true. Now, here's the problem. Superman, like the momentum for wanting another Man of Steel 2, another Superman movie in general, is on an all-time high. It's also connected to the whole Snyder Cut thing. Oh man, is Henry coming back and this and that? At this point in time, it would be stupid as fuck to not bring Henry Cavill back or someone that looks like him. This is not the time to be like black, just because you think it's cute.
I agree with that, but we're not talking about like now. Let's just say in the future, whatever, because we all know they need to make a Man of Steel 2. We all know that. Okay, I'm talking about 10 years down the line.
Okay. See, now that's different. So that is a different element. No, you don't use Idris Elba for Kingdom Come. Absolutely not. So,
or Brandon Ruth. Imagine bringing back Brandon Ruth 20 years from now.
10 years from now, I would imagine that from this point to 10 years later, so we're in 2020. So that'd be 2040. So from there, I would imagine there has been at least 2 more Superman movies, more if they're smart. You need to have Superman around. So depending on what happens with the final Superman movie, whatever they set up, then at that point, because they've already done Crisis, like I said, that opens the door for many things. And then you could show people like, hey, there is a black Superman. And then as they're doing the marketing, when you let them know that this was inspired from Barack Obama, you can make that work and it can feel organic instead of, doing it now sort of a thing or the next 2 years. You have to be smart. So it can work, but I do feel that intention and timing is everything when it comes to these things.
Can I ask?
Okay, here's another example. Like Idris Elba was cast or supposed to be in talks to be Bond.
I would have watched that.
You wouldn't? You see why?
Because I don't have a complete stint in the James Bond.
Okay, so you're not a big James Bond fan?
But my argument for it would be, as much as I would like the film, I don't think I'd buy it. See, that's where the disconnect is people think it's because I
have something to say about that. Okay, so I've actually talked about this
because British intelligence
now,
but he's British anyways.
But here's my thing, like.
But versus actual.
Here's my thing. I'm in the office and they're like, Terrence, we're gonna do Jane Bond and she's gonna be a black woman. I'm like, get that shit out of here right now. Nobody wants to see a female Jane Bond, but there could be strong women. You're right. She could be 002, 006. She ain't being no fucking 007 because in those books, that title goes to a male that's James Bond. So get that shit out of here. Then they're like, okay, I got one, sir. You're really going to love this. I'm like, okay, let's hear. What is it? Okay, get ready, sir, because this shit is going to be groundbreaking. James Bond is going to be played by none other than Idris Elba. Right? I'm just like, so you want James Bond to be black? Well, see, here's the thing, sir. I mean, he's British. I mean, he doesn't have to be like a white guy, right? I mean, he could be anything. It could be Idris Elba. We can get an Asian guy to play. He
only tries to intersect the fucking Russian ring.
I'm like, look, here's the thing, man. When it comes to his acting, I believe that he is a talented actor, but don't you think that's gonna come across a little bit rough, like to where we gotta win people over? Like, why do we need to put ourselves? But sir, if it's good, you're right. If it's good, so
how about that?
I'd be like, look, I tell him like, I'd be like, look, I don't like that fucking idea at all. But I'll tell you what, if I put the stamp of approval on this needs to be the best shit ever. And what I mean by that is, you better do some shit that's better than Skyfall. And I guarantee you that shit is impossible. I fucking challenge you. In fact, I'm gonna give you a $250 million budget to prove me wrong that you can make some shit better than Skyfall. Go ahead. Go have fun.
It can be done.
How do you want a black person to take over a fucking sinking ship anyway? Again, Idris Elba has enough star power. He could do something on his own. Hobbs and Shaw is pretty shit. I don't know if you guys.
No. He doesn't look. Daniel Craig is his own thing. This dude literally reinvented the genre, and there were a lot of people that were hesitant.
Exactly.
He made all those humans. he made all those humans look stupid as
Exactly.
fuck.
That was my point.
Like,
Whoever was cast to play John, other than Pierce Brosnan, everybody had questions about this person that was going to play play Bond. The only one that didn't was Pierce Brosnan. And the reason why is because he was supposed to play James Bond from a long time ago. He had that show Remington Steele where he was almost like a James Bond. That's why nobody complained when he turned Bond. But when Daniel Craig was Bond, everybody went crazy. Oh, Bond, blue-eyed, blonde hair Bond. No, that's
what
not
is he
my
doing?
Bond.
Yeah.
And he killed it.
And he did. And it's like,
I
and
like
also too, I'm just like,
he did fine. Casino Royale was my shit.
I love all the actors that have played Bond for different reasons, but Craig is my boy because I'm like, he can use some text, but at the same time, you put them in front of them other Bonds, they get their fucking ass beat. Like Daniel Craig's stunts alone would kill the other James Bond guys. They'd be dead as fuck doing any of the shit he does. So I'm just like, you managed to surprise even me because I remember seeing him like long back in fucking Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie. I'm like, who's this Rip guy? Like, what the fuck is? And then I just would see him in different movies, and I'm like, oh, he's pretty cool. So when they cast him, I'm like, hey,
he was in Cowboys and Aliens, wasn't he?
Yeah, there you go. Like
I like that film, but why?
I love that shit, but it's like I thought he was cool. So because there were so many humans against him, I'm like, man, I know what that's like, and it's always like one of those cool moments when you can go, "What you got to say now, motherfucker?" Like that shit is dope. So when he did that,
doesn't he go against your argument?
Who?
In terms of
exactly, he does.
Well, no. Well, here's the
maybe
thing,
not Terrence's argument, but he did
go
against the argument for Bond. He did.
Well, here's the thing, like because, okay, in terms of tweaking one's hair and eye color, to me that's more forgiving than changing the ethnicity. To me, that's a whole different.
Okay, let me give you an example. And I'm sorry, it's gonna be quick.
No, you're good. You're good.
In the comic books, Aquaman is blonde hair, blue eyes.
Correct. Exactly.
But they knew that Jason Momoa was going to get female butts in the seat, and he ain't nowhere in blonde hair, blue eyes.
That is a perfect example. And
they made him gold-eyed.
And for the humans listening, with Danny's perfect example, I'm going to give another perfect example. My boy Grant Gustin, that motherfucker's a brunette. Barry Allen's supposed to have blonde hair. So, but the make of the character is still the same. He's still the same ethnicity. So that's not really a problem for me. Like I have a friend where he didn't watch the X-Men movies.
He ain't Caucasian.
No, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
All three of you up because this is the same argument I've had a billion times. Fucking Michael motherfucking Clark Duncan as Kingpin in the shitty Ben Affleck film. He was an awesome Kingpin.
John, what the fuck did I say about that when you first brought it up? I said that he gets a pass because he's Michael fucking Clark Duncan.
Aren't you guys making my point then?
Yes.
Look, my point. My point is this: if you come out and you do race and gender swap, I'm not talking about no fucking hair and eye.
Gotta come with the right.
If you do race and if you do race and or gender swap, because sometimes they like to double and triple them up just to fucking
John
piss
Stewart
people
versus
off.
Hal Jordan.
So
they're two different characters, but still.
Okay, but they're both in the comics. That's different.
They're still Green Lantern.
When it comes to those two things, again, I want it to be good, but for me, it's already a little bit distasteful. I'm going in there with a little bit of hesitancy, but then if I watch it, I'm like, I'm glad this is good.
Yep.
So then it's like at this point, give me more. I would like him or her to stay. But I'm not on their side initially in the way that I should be if you cast someone that looks like the fucking character.
Let me give you this. No, I think here's the disconnect. I think I found it. Give me a sec. I think when me and Terrence see a gender or a race swap, because a lot of people talk about all the changes that happened in The Boys, from the comics to the show. People who actually love the comics talk about how The Boys show is better. They made changes that were better. We're seeing a gender bend for a character in the second season. People are willing to look at it now. Still, they're pissed off, but that's internet speak. It's fine. We won't know until the show is over or until we see the character, and we'll let it go. What we're saying is when we see that happen, we get worried because we go, why? What are the intentions? What are you trying to do? Are you virtue signaling? Are you actually trying to do it on purpose?
Didn't I just say that about the intention? What is your intention? Because
exactly.
we all know.
And I'm trying to reiterate it. I think there's a difference with us where it's like, I don't really care, except when I'm like worried that we've seen you do it for bullshit reasons and the movies were still not good. But then you see like a Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin. We never thought about that back in the 90s, but it happened and he's awesome. And he's probably the best part of that film.
Okay. Like when now, to be fair, when I saw him as a kid, my thing was like, he doesn't look like the dude in my comic books.
Yeah.
But then it was like, because I saw him in other stuff, I'm like, well, he's cool. So I just, like I said, I gave it a pass. But that's like a weird thing where I'm already, if I'm already cool with the actress, it's like, I'm willing to give you a little pass in a way to where if it's just a random stranger, I'm like, well, number one, I don't even fucking like you. So what? Like, let's see what you can do. All right, whatever.
And you know what? And I understand that. I completely understand that. You guys are worried about so-called agenda, but I don't worry about that until I see the movie. I'm not going in there and saying, okay, they're making him a black guy because of an agenda or something like that. I'm like, no. Okay, they're making him Bond black. Okay, I'm interested. Let me go see this. Now, then when I go see the movie and I start seeing all this bullshit agenda in it, then I'll be like, okay, that's crap. But I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, well, I wonder why they're doing it. I don't know why they're doing it.
Okay, here's the thing. No.
I don't appreciate him doing it.
No. Two things.
You nailed a spot on impression of me, and I'm
two things. For me, I'm not speaking for John. For me, two things. Number one, I'm not worried about shit. Number two, I don't have to wonder why necessarily when I know that there's a typical reason for them doing it. So these sorts of conversations get brought up because that's what these fuckers do most of the time until they prove otherwise. Whenever they do a race or a gender swap, if they switch the male character to a female, it's because, oh, we got to have more women. It's like, but there are female characters that you can use that are awesome. Why not? You got to switch this one, inclusion. And then, oh, how come this character is black and it's a female and they're gay? It's for a fucking agenda. They do it for the same reasoning. And then when you watch the story, it's always the same shit. Like they all work in the same room. So yeah, like Batwoman is one of the recent examples. They could try to cover it up with all their PC bullshit all they want, but it is what it is because I've already seen it. I saw it in the trailer, saw it in the show. So until they prove it, that's what it is. If they come out and go, Terrence, yeah, but we're going to be different. This character is now black, female, and gay. Yeah, we're so different. I'm like, motherfucker, until I watch it and confirm that it's different, I'm going to think you're doing the same shit. Period.
And I get that. That's where I guess you could say different because I'm like, I understand that they'll say it, right? I understand that there's an agenda or something like that. But for me, if you're going to make James Bond, Idris Elba, a black guy, in my mind, I'm like, good. Let's get more black people on theater. Let's get him as a James Bond, as a popular character, because chances of us seeing that are very slim.
But so you don't. More the
better. That's why that's the same problem that I have with the other conversation when it sparked. I want to say a year or two ago, whenever it was. We're gonna do a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot, but Buffy is gonna be black. No matter how good your show is, right? No matter how good your show is, it will always be known as the Black Buffy because you created a tokenized version of the character. They need to stop doing that shit. We don't need no fucking hand-me-downs. Give us our own shit. That's getting old and fucking tired.
They can give us our own shit, but people, and we will go see it. Us as black people will go see it, but white people won't.
Don't fucking speak for us.
Okay.
Hey, black people went to see.
Chill the fuck out with that.
But black people, I mean, not black people, but white people went to go see Black Panther. I remember.
Yes, they
like my white friend.
Hold on. They did go see Black Panther, but because it was a Marvel movie. And
I understand that, but I'm just saying. Look.
Reasons why it would not have made $1 billion if it wasn't part of the Marvel universe.
This is true, but the reason why I brought that up is because of the fact that You don't get it that often. Sometimes humans are surprised when they see it, no matter where it comes from. They're like, that's different. And then the interest is there. If it's connected to a recognizable IP, sure, it boosts it because of interactions. But even then, you get something like Hancock. I remember when everybody went to see that shit, they're like, what the fuck, a black superhero? And people are like, oh, it's Will Smith. And they just went. It didn't have to be connected to
a black lead in his own film for fucking 45 minutes.
I understand, but I'm just saying, like it, but it wasn't connected to anything.
No, but it was Will Smith, and at the time, Will Smith was on fire.
Yeah,
on fire. He was one of the last actors that people went to go see a movie because he was in it, and not because of the movie.
Yes, and see, you could do that with Idris Elba. Idris Elba is liked and respected to where,
but he's not on Will's level.
No, he's not. But he has his own level. He doesn't need to be on Will Smith's level. He's on his own level. So with Idris Elba, whatever you put him in, as long as it looks good, I think that humans will give it a chance. But what they need to stop doing is giving hand-me-down tokenized characters. I'm like, look, some of them are good, though. Like Miles Morales is a tokenized version of Peter Parker, but he actually has some good comic books.
Miles Morales is great. Some people consider Spider-Verse to be the best fucking Spider-Man.
It is the best Spider-Man movie. That's why I made sure to bring that up. There are exceptions to these tokenized characters to where, they actually are good, but most of them, they just, you don't have them if you ain't got the white dude before them. I'm like, just stop doing that shit.
And I get your point, and you guys are making my point, though, right? Because it can work. And my point is, with Bond, more white people were upset with the fact that they were trying to cast Idris Elba than black people, and that's a fact.
That is very much a fact.
There were black people that were like you that says, no, I don't want no token, give us something else. But there was more white people. So had they had done that, right, if it wasn't a good movie, people wouldn't go see it. But if it was a good movie, then the white people would have went and gone see it. Plain and simple. So my point is,
that's true.
But that's my point. I'm like,
and my points still stand. Not that your points are wrong, but there's a different type of position in terms of looking at these things, and they all are factors. And it's hard to say until you get it, but there is a pattern. Their reasoning for doing it. I'm like, hey, Idris, good luck, man. And I'm gonna go see it because I love to watch movies, and I know about James Bond. I wish you the best of luck. I really do. But just understand that I hope you read this script and you understand that if this shit got some dumbass shit in here, there's going to be some backlash, brother. You have a nice day.
And before I say this point, I want to hear Donnie, because Donnie has been quiet for almost 30 minutes. So we got to let Donnie say some stuff. But what I'm just saying is, I lost my train of fucking thought.
That happens to me all the time on this show here.
That's why Danny's gonna shoot me one day. He's gonna be like, look, Terrence, look, I'm tired of this. You have 80 thoughts, and I'm trying to get my one out. You're done, Terrence. You're just gonna shoot me.
I'm waiting for the day where he's like, John, I lost your number. But you just texted me, though. He's like, no, I lost your number. Bye. Like, man.
That is funny. I was just about to say that I'm going to text Danny one day. He's going to be like, how did you text me? Aren't you in the fucking Phantom Zone? I'm like, damn.
The thing is,
through 3 dimensions. What the fuck?
The thing is, me and Danny are old, right? So if we don't get our point out and you guys change the subject, we're gonna completely forget what the hell we were gonna.
No. See that? No. That's when I'm gonna contact Dragon King. I'll be like, no, you're gonna resurrect Danny and Anzo right now. You're gonna soup them up and bring them back.
Yeah. Tell us how the 3 dummies in the sandbox were fighting too much.
So now your point, Donnie. Let's hear what you got to say, man.
I what y'all are saying, and I agree with a little bit with all of y'all are saying. If it's a good movie, I don't care whether it's male, female, black, white. I'm gonna go see it, and then I will make my critique. It would be stupid to just, I don't want to say stupid. It would be ill-advised to have a just think that something's going to be instantly bad because the character you used to be a male, but now in this particular iteration, it's a female and vice versa. So I would go, then I'd watch it, make my assessment that no, they shouldn't have done this because of ABC 1, 2, 3.
I agree with that, but I do be giving it a chance. I'm the only dude that I know that watched every episode of Batwoman. So see why you have the shit talkers talking about the show, I'm the motherfucker that watched the whole show. Okay? So I get to criticize that shit all I want.
What I would do, also, say for instance, and me and Terrence already talked about this, but say for instance, Denzel Washington and the guy that played Moff Gideon made the call, like Marshall Ali's called David Feige and said, "Look, I want to be the new Daywalker. I want to be new Blade." Kevin Feige said, "Okay, sure, we can make that happen." I do believe it. Denzel Washington and that guy, I can't think of his name. He's a Hispanic dude. Says, "I want to be the new Magneto, and I want to be the new Charles."
Isn't
Xavier.
he also half black? The other dude you're talking about? Okay.
And they write a story, and the story is something like, instead of the Jewish Holocaust, it would be
slavery,
something like the Ku Klux Klan time in the 60s, whatever. And somebody burned the flag in front of guy house, and he used, and that's what ignited his powers, Magneto's powers.
Killed his
I think that could work.
I think it can become great if they do it right. But here's the thing: with that kind of storyline, they don't have the balls to do that shit. Like when X-Men comes out, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be like, Danny, that shit is awesome and this and that. But I am just interested to see if they're gonna tackle even the tiniest bit of humanity.
Maybe not Marvel, but DC has the balls to do it. I could see a black Superman in the next 5 to 10 years. I could see it.
I can see it too, and I can see them doing it right. But Marvel, like I said, with them the sensitive stuff, I want to see how they're going to handle freak. You need to die, kill them. I want to see how they're going to do that.
I need to do this.
Go ahead.
Given everything going on, Danny, don't worry. I'm not going to, you know me. Given everything going on and the white signaling, virtue signaling going on lately, which is what is happening. A lot of self-hating. My whole deal is you're not going to see a lot of that because white people can do this thing that is so strong for other people is we can fucking self-loathe like you read about.
Apparently not enough for any significant change, but go ahead.
I get it. No, and I get that. And I'm talking about medium, and I'm talking about funsy stuff. I'm not talking about anything outside of the funsies. I myself can never go out anywhere and just yell white power. I can't do that. But we make movies like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Have you ever seen that? Great film. Coen Brothers, fucking fantastic film.
I think I've seen it.
They demonize the Ku Klux Klan. They hate them. They think they're stupid. They make fun of them. They fucking tear these people down. A lot of them are
stupid.
Well, no, they are fucking stupid.
Like I said, a lot of them are stupid.
Like, we're not trying to get into political, but what I'm saying is that we have the culture willing to do that. We have the culture willing to do that. And with films like that, I think really, really help filmmakers on that side. I feel like they get kind of forgotten, that we understand things that need to be talked about, but that is not the forefront. It is something that is being talked about inside of this film with other characters. If you've ever seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? It's a great film. Does have slave stuff in it. We move forward in the time. I think they do it relatively sensitively, and you see a lot of white guys who are also prisoners moving forward and dealing with a system that is corrupt and moving forward. And I think people forget that I understand that a lot of characters seem to look a certain color. It's because a lot of the books that are being adapted tend to be written for a certain color because of the people who wrote them were a certain color. You also have to understand we are watching things like Huckleberry Finn, Oliver Twist. Those are two different reasons for why they're getting canceled. And they are staples. They are staples in storytelling, things that have been remade. And I understand this idea where we want to figure out which characters we want to change around and move around because certain ones stand the test of time. Some don't. I'm just like, this is a little sensitive because I have a girlfriend who worked in a bookstore and we've watched book burnings and things happening and lately and other stuff.
Let me just say this, that all that canceling all these old movies and shit is bullshit.
It's sad. It's sad.
Fuck. And,
so stupid.
And a lot of these comic book writers, number one, for people that are not familiar with comic book history, they have what
X-Men.
they called I was gonna say that, but like but aside from that, like you had this comics authority thing where they had to approve your comic books. At one point, there was no sex, drugs, or any of that stuff. You could barely even punch somebody in the face type shit. But Stan Lee and them, they wanted to make the characters black, but they couldn't. You could get away with Storm, but man, Wolverine was supposed to be the dude with the sideburns and the afro and shit. So like that's why all that stuff is there. So to Danny and Anzo's point about characters being black, it's like there's a precedence for it. I get that, but I don't believe that they could do it right. I think it's going to be some sloppy ass, watered down, them not doing what they're supposed to be stuff, and it's going to be made into some silliness. You know, I'm like,
I think the problem is we all are really passionate about why potentially it's a good idea, but at the same time, we all have a problem about what the motivations are versus
honestly, if you're gonna bring up Denzel Washington,
you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
If you're gonna bring up Denzel Washington, you need to understand that this man has turned down a lot of roles. He's turned down a lot of stuff that he felt was silly, and he doesn't do comic book stuff. So I think that in order to even get him to be some fucking Magneto or something where he's gonna be around in an extended franchise, you would have to give him compelling stuff to work with.
If you're a Christian person who really likes Denzel Washington and he came in and did Book of Eli, would that like really tarnish everything about him?
Okay, but the Book of Eli has a seriousness to it. Like
it also has comic book, it has a following. I'm saying my thing is I think everybody draws their line in the sand, and I think it's going to be really difficult for all of us to ever come to a place. And I think the best thing we have done tonight was we all drew a line. I think we all nailed it, especially Danny making the children shut up for 5 minutes. I think, can I be the jerk and say, like, is there another topic we could move on? Because I really feel like we could beat this one to a dead horse, and I don't think any of us.
No. It's not a dead horse. The horse is alive and well, and it's been well fed with different types of food. How about that shit?
I
want that horse. Danny, buy me that horse now. Danny Warbucks. That's your new name. Comic chat. Danny Warbucks.
I wish.
I need Danny Warbucks to buy me a horse and tell me why everything's good.
Until the Equalizer movies, Denzel Washington never done a sequel. So that might be one of the
which is super dope. Did you see the Magnificent Seven remake?
Yeah, that was one of the better remakes.
I really liked that.
That movie was awesome. But
me too. I liked it.
I still prefer the original film, but that was a dope remake.
I might agree. And then we can always go. We could be the pretentious pricks and go all the way back to Seven Samurai, but whatever.
But Danny, to your point though,
Asian
he did do number 2. They had to. The director had to convince him, but he thought the story was good enough. I feel like Kevin Feige would have to convince him that it's worth it. He's very selective. He's not, I'm going to jump at anything because people will like it. He's like, no, if he doesn't agree, he's not doing it. So you do have to convince him, kind of like in the way that you would have to convince me to be part of your project. I'm not also easily swindled to do anything.
Oh yeah, as long as your shirt is off, you're good, right?
Oh well.
Sorry, did I talk?
No, John. To be honest, that was the reason why they called me to Beverly Hills Acting Studio because my profile I had at the time. I was in a martial arts pose.
We must get in the most beautiful chocolate man we've ever seen. We must get him. We got to get him out of the Phantom Zone.
So look. I was in a martial arts pose. I was in my underwear. I had on my Cyclops.
You're that kid on the Spider-Man.
Hang on. So I had you know the visors that Cyclops wore in the first X-Men movie.
Oh, I'm gonna screen cap the shit out of that. Danny's head went into the fucking.
But do you guys remember that visor from the first X-Men movie that Cyclops was wearing?
Yeah,
that's what I was wearing. I had that shirtless martial arts pose, underwear, and at the time, my hair was spiky too. On top of that, like I had straight hair. So they saw that shit. Yeah, I look like the black fucking Vegeta that somehow did a fusion with Cyclops. That's how I fucking look. So they saw that shit and they was like, "Yo, can you come in tomorrow?" I was like, "Oh, absolutely." So
this dude said his underwear, not a Speedo or anything.
Hell no, my underwear. That was a straight up in the moment fucking pick. That's what I did.
Oh, that's hilarious. You guys are killing me.
We got about 40 minutes left. So I'm answering some chat questions.
Yeah, let's do the chat.
They're gonna be brief chat questions.
Never brief. We're gonna go till midnight. Strap in.
What about 10 hours?
Negative. Yes. D. Scott said, unpopular opinion, I really like The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker better than The Return of the Jedi.
I don't think that's actually don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I think if I've noticed anything, honestly, I feel like everybody is split. You either have Jedi?
That's what I'm saying.
Wait. I don't know, John.
Shit, I thought no, my bad.
What did you think, John? Can you please explain that shit? Like, what happened?
You thought he was talking about Last Jedi.
I thought we were talking Rise of Skywalker,
right? Yeah.
Maybe.
Both of them
you sir are off base. Last Jedi is not only a terrible Star Wars film, it's a terrible film, actually. I will be willing to fight people on that because it looks beautiful.
It is a terrible film. But
every scene has a literal problem, either filmmaking or narrative wise, in every scene, and it's really fucking funny to watch. It's really funny.
So that would have been the difference of you and I walking out of the theater together. You'd have been like, "Man, this movie is fucking terrible." I'd have high-fived you like, "Yeah, John, I agree, but I like the movie." So
I walked out. I remember watching. Here's how I took in Last Jedi. I watched it and I go, "Oh, Luke! Oh, thank God, finally!" And then he throws the thing. I go, "Wait, what?" And then I had this look on my face for about 40 minutes, and then I saw goofy Mary Poppins. And then
why are you guys laughing?
Oh, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out of this film. I'm done.
Star Wars film.
You see,
actually, you know when I was done.
Poppins thing didn't bother me. Like,
you know what actually fucked me up? This is actual bullshit. This is where it fucked me up. Finn not only turns into comedic bullshit again, where he's got like the water floating out of him again, and then Rose Tico zaps his ass. I'm like, oh, so he's just a clown. Remember how he got fucking like spine raped by like our essential antagonist? I'm like, oh, okay. So Finn's just a joke, and I don't like that because I've already bugged half of you guys, and I've already lost 2 of you about A Talk of the Block. He's a fucking phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be a defected stormtrooper turned Jedi. Yes, that is the one time where people can go, "You didn't get what you wanted." I'm like, yeah, I didn't. And it's not only that I didn't get what I wanted, they turned him into a fucking clown. And the fact that Disney is like pseudo racist and people are just cool with it, it really pisses me the fuck off.
I agree with that 100%. They made him into a clown. I agree with that 100%.
And he's pining over the white girl. So dual stereotypes, like, fuck off. And Ray sucks. Ray could have been cool. Last Jedi did have one cool moment with Ray that they never did again because they're retarded. Apparently, she's from a desert island and can ride skimmers in Rise of Skywalker and swim when she falls in the dark zone. But there was this scene where she was under the Millennium Falcon and it rained for the first time. It was probably the first time it ever rained in her entire life, and she like touched it whimsically, and I thought, wow, what a fucking cool moment. Never got that again. Never got it again. Yeah, because people can't, because just fucking stupid throne scene that is like the worst thing ever made. Awful. But wasn't that good trigonometry though?
What
like the thing, this desert chick.
No, I remember it 5 years later. It ain't.
He's doing push-ups. He's doing push-ups, and he's telling humans to fuck off. He will be here in 5. Yeah. It's fine.
Mike Shrews said Invisible Man $7 million budget made $126 million and suffered with the virus shutdown.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. I mean,
absolutely.
The corona. I can't say that. The crisis was a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
So things that would normally would have been successful, or some things that normally would have failed, has succeeded. Some things that normally succeeded has failed. So,
and that movie, Invisible Man, would have made a lot more money.
I bet. Hey, I went. I got sent to a different universe, guys.
It's all good. I told everybody you were busy doing push-ups. You're all good.
Oh, so wait,
you were always being productive.
Shit, I thought you did it yourself. I didn't know Danny sent your ass.
It wasn't me.
Oh, okay.
No. For some reason, I started humming and shit, and then next thing you know, like
they was
like, "Oh, you got to go to a different universe." I was like, "Fuck!" And
so next question. I know Danny wants to get through a lot of the fucking chats. Let's go do this.
The only Disney Star Wars movie I liked was Rogue One and The Force Awakens.
Amen.
Force Awakens felt like it tricked me, and Rogue One was only good for 2 reasons. 1, because of nostalgia. 2, because that Darth Vader scene at the end.
Hey, we can't forget about fucking Donnie Yen, man. That dude.
I
that blind dude was sick.
Him.
He was cool for 2
reasons.
And they undercut him immediately. His own scene when he killed all the stormtroopers, he's supposed to be this badass. Fucking right.
Yo, that shit was sick. Man.
No, it wasn't.
You know how annoying that shit was to me? I am the force is with me. I am the force is with me. I'm like,
Anzo, you know, Anzo, when he started saying that, I actually left my seat in the theater. I started walking to the screen. It was like I was with him in that moment. I was with him.
No.
Anzo.
No, I hated it, man.
Rogue One forever.
Yeah, I hated it.
Wait, what the hell? Don't do no Wakanda forever against my boy. Like, wow. Where is Eric Killmonger when you need him?
Hold on 1 minute.
Wow, Danny, really?
No, I'm trying to do something.
Yeah, put us in order.
Dad trying to make fun of us, and now fucking.
Yeah, he was trying to put us in order.
Fucking straight down. No.
At least agree with me, because I know I told a lot of people that I didn't feel that guy, and they were like, "Oh no, he's cool." But that saying, I looked at my son, I was like, "What the fuck is he saying?" That's like, why couldn't he just be saying, "May the force be with me. May the force be with me"?
Everybody says that. So everybody's religious.
He didn't know though. Like Anzo, it was something that he was feeling, Anzo, and it was like sometimes when you feel stuff, it just comes out,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I only wish he had a lightsaber.
What's that?
I only wish he had a lightsaber.
Oh shit! Donnie Yen with a light. Oh man, everybody did.
And he was beating stormtroopers up with a stick.
Okay, Anzo. Hey, I can't fight that. I'm like, how the fuck did he get through the armor? But aside from that, when my brain, because my first part of my brain was like, how can he hurt them through
with
the
a stick?
armor?
Right.
But then I was like, well, he is Donnie.
Oh, you
Yen,
mean like
so
Rey with the staff? She could just beat fucking Luke Skywalker. What are we doing?
The fuck? Yoda's dick popping out and shit. What the fuck is going on? Jesus, this got X-rated quick. Fucking Yoda's dick popping out and shit, bigger than he is. But look,
my Schwartz is bigger than yours.
So, but then I thought maybe he was releasing some built up energy into the staff itself, and then that's how he was able to knock him out with one hit.
I guess if you could say he's using
power in his staff.
But
Man, you gotta love
Anzo,
that
I'm making
narrative.
shit up. I don't know that any of that happened, but I'm just saying I like Donnie Yen. Like,
But see, he makes shit up. He makes shit up for Star Wars. It's just silly, but fucking Stargirl.
Okay.
Hey,
All right,
I
John.
already addressed that shit, John. Don't you try to flip that shit around.
look, man. I gotta get people off my back, man. Like I gotta try.
But no, like I get what you're saying, Anzo. But man, like I like him.
I'm with you though, bruh. You and me,
for you, John.
fucking hundo.
One's for you, John.
Men
Your
in
boy.
Black International.
See, like, man, I'm already got the stab wound from Anzo, man. There's only so much I could take from my brother. I just.
I ain't stopping
I
you,
ain't
bro.
scared. Bring it. All of y'all bring it.
I'll
cry overnight. I'll sleep it off.
I ain't stopping you, bro. You know.
I know, Anzo. It ain't nothing too painful, but sometimes I'm like, no, be on my side. Join me.
I may give you a punch in the side or some shit. You know what I mean?
Do you guys actually care about what's about to happen here?
Go ahead, because I know the question's for you.
Average for you. Men in
Black is worse.
Serious questions. Men in Black International, if you really need to know, I actually do on the Bald Man Bad YouTube channel where I post like no videos ever. Sorry if you subscribe, but I am making them. They take a while to edit. They're just hard. They're hard to edit because all these big bombs want me around for fucking 3 hour.
Hey, that's nothing. It's not like it's 4 hours
or 10.
Exactly. I'm just a crybaby. Is what I'm finding out.
Say you're a crybaby, but you know.
I'm a cry man baby. But Men in Black International, I do have a fucking like hate reaction to it. It's actually pretty funny. To pat my own back.
Which one's better? We need to go through the question.
That is the Tessa Thompson.
Chris there you go. Can I address that? Calvin Ellis. He should play Calvin Ellis. That's the black one. But anyway,
I'll finish up. Men in Black International is a diatribe and disrespectful film to the Men in Black franchise. I've heard 3 is really, really good. I haven't watched it because 2 was kind of stupid.
John, watch Men in Black 3. Make that your priority.
I want to. I really want to.
Josh Brolin, the way that
captured
he played the younger. Oh, Jesus.
And I already know about the twist at the end and stuff. Like, and trust me, I'm a filmmaker who can.
What you mean? You already know about the twist? You supposed
with Jay and his dad and stuff.
No, you were supposed to experience that. God damn it!
And that's the fun part is people think I can't do that. I can build. Like I start from the minute it starts and I go. And if I know those things, 90% of the time, if the film is going really well, I either forget or I'm like, ooh, you foreshadowed like a motherfucker. Well,
John, can you get slight amnesia to not know that so that way you can like watch it?
No, I absolutely can. I am very good at that. I know I'm dead ass. Like I swear to God, I'm really good at that stuff. Like I can rewatch stuff and still when I see a moment, I go, ooh, that reveal. Yeah, it was good. That kind of thing. And I'm
glad you can do that because for me, I'm like,
not a lot of people can.
That is what that one human told me. I'm gonna have to beat the shit.
Well,
I
edit. My whole thing is like you get nuances. You take 2 seconds out of that. It could have been worse. It could have been better. I don't know, but sometimes you just nail it. And I saw the scene and I go, you kind of nailed it. So I want to see the film. The second one I think is pretty It's super filler Johnny Knoxville bullshit.
What about Frank though, the dog? He was cool. Yeah,
he's cute. He's cute as fuck, but that's fine. He's just a joke. He's just a joke. Like I say, I think Will Smith trying to get out of the pipes at the end is some of the funniest, goofiest shit in my life. He's fucking hysterical, nice physical comedic actor.
John, so you like that scene when he
if you guys could see me right now, I'm pulling a Danny. The question was which one's better?
Easy.
Hey, Ghostbusters is better. What the
fuck? Calm down. You know, you're both bad people. Both films actually don't exist. If I did have to pick one, I will go Ghostbusters because not only were their sci-fi effects actually good, because shout out I mean, both made
Yo,
by
that
Sony.
end scene was dope when they were fighting all the ghosts. That shit was sick.
But I'm also gonna say it's just comedic actors doing comedic things. It was kind of nice.
Yeah.
The obvious fucking just run on scenes where they let them ad lib. Oh my god. Like, let good writers write your shit. I get that you have comedic
John,
timing, but for
how
fuck's
come
sake.
Chris Hemsworth was a fucking idiot?
What's the
Because
Jenny
it's silly. Because apparently they thought the redhead from the original series was an idiot, like a bimbo. It's like, no.
She
was actually one of the smartest
from
ones.
his head, though. Like,
It's insane. No, it's a guy who didn't know what he was making, and it's just a joke.
He
And
didn't even
Leslie
know how to
Jones is
answer the
bae.
phone, John.
What's her name?
I'm sorry,
McCarthy?
Leslie Jones is fucking hilarious.
No, I like the McCarthy one. What's her name?
Yeah.
Hey, no.
first
To
name.
me,
Really? I actually like the
to me,
Science
it's all
Girl.
about Holtzman. Thank you. Holtzman is the best.
I'm not
character.
talking about in the movie. I'm talking about in general as a comedian.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
She
Underrated
has,
actress who takes terrible roles.
well, no, she has that spy window with
the one with Jason Statham. Yeah,
Oh my
that
God,
shit
that
was
I
was
lit.
honestly think that
fucking
bullshit one
funny
she
as
does with
hell.
Hey, Hanzo, what about that one where she was with the puppets and shit? Like,
That was
it was like,
funny as hell too.
like that
bro.
shit was so fucking different. I was like,
she
what the
is
fuck
funny. I think the problem is they write her as this like Chris Farley character,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I'm like, she's not quite there. She actually has
Nah, definitely not.
serious and
Mhm.
comedic.
Yeah,
She's not slapstick. She's not slapstick. She is
You just gotta
fucking.
give her good material. That's
Give her good shit, man. She's got good timing. She's not a slapstick.
watched
I'm a
Grace
fat
Randolph.
person running around.
Wait.
Makes
I
me
watched
sad.
Grace. What did Grace say?
Grace makes me sad.
The next question.
Let's see.
Grace Randolph said that DC would be
Okay.
doing a virtual Comic-Con live show, and we should expect stuff from Suicide Squad, WW84, Batman, Flash, Batman, Flash, Black Adam, Shazam, and HBO Max
shit.
Green
Oh,
Lantern.
that would be
Wait,
great.
is Grace streaming it? The human, is Grace streaming it?
Big who cares? That's
Why?
where
Who
I'm at.
cares?
What the hell? Send his ass to the Phantom
Yeah,
Zone right now.
Go. All right, bye. I'll miss you. I'll fucking miss you. I don't give a shit.
You know what's
Human,
fucked up?
if you're still listening,
go ahead,
please
talk.
let us know.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Danny. I was gonna say Danny only sends them when he wants to, not when we ask him to.
Sometimes in life, you gotta.
I'm definitely ready to see that. So
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah.
the date and the time.
If they're streaming it, I'll be watching it.
Yeah, please, human. If Grace is streaming it on her channel, let us know the date and time because I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all the way there. I'm actually there right now, but my current self doesn't know it.
Am I allowed?
Go ahead.
One, I hate Grace Randolph now. Wow.
She do be fucking up.
She's had a rough year. I'm gonna go with a rough year. Pretty much ever since her Rambo review, I'm just like, wow, somebody has started to pay you.
And also,
this is
John,
my opinion. If you watch Everything Always, that guy, I think his name is Michael Roman, he used to be on point. I watch his stuff, and
it's when they start getting a paycheck, my dude.
I stay away from that person because he tends to be too right. Like,
yeah,
he just be saying shit like, yeah, Galactus is gonna grab it. I'm like, no, shit. Pause.
He got somebody in DC and in Marvel. Most of it, all his stuff.
I have to keep telling people I'm not doing these fucking streams and my podcast with my buddy for almost 2 years. I'm not doing this shit to be fucking internet famous. To be completely honest, I'm the guy. I'm the reason why like 80 fucking casts in we didn't have video. I think video is detrimental. I think it takes away from your message because people are judgmental and shitty. They can't help themselves. And the only reason why
what are you talking about?
John, guy, we're your friend. What?
No. I'm talking about me. What I thought is the way I look with a lot of the opinions that I have. People will write me off. They don't care. If they've only heard my voice, they can go with it. And then when they see me, then, you know, they can make their judgments after that. And it's sad that that does happen. And I understand that that does happen. Hello. Come on.
John, I understand, man. That's
Brie
my
Larson
entire
did
life.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But Brie Larson does it too. And that's what I'm saying. And it's not something for me to bitch about because who cares? What I'm talking about is that I'm seeing this weird disconnect with like Grace Randolph. She says a lot of stuff and she doesn't get called out until she goes against the narrative. And the first time I really saw that was with the Rambo one, where people were like, you're not reviewing this the way you used to review things.
No, because she didn't make any sense. She was like, he's killing a bunch of Hispanics and they had an agenda. I'm like, first of all, those Hispanics kidnapped his niece. If that would have been white,
but she's a trusted
Japanese,
movie reviewer who gets
know,
to go to premieres and stuff.
But her
so you gotta trust your narratives.
Stupid. No, I was like, you fucking up. Like when sometimes I have to pause the video. I'm like, Grace, stop being a bitch, and then I play it. And then sometimes she'll say stuff like, well, DC, you DC fans know. I'm like, she don't know I'm listening, but I'm a huge DC fan. And sometimes she be saying some shit like, Grace, you know you're wrong as fuck about this, right? Or you're not making any sense. Because again, somebody can have their opinions, but when they try to pass that off to being facts, I'm like, what did you say?
My problem is I have rules about the things that I cover. If I cover something that I do not give a fuck about, I will be forthright with it. Second, if I do care about it, I'm going to cover it, regardless of whether or not I'm being paid for it. And if they don't like what I have to say, which, trust me, I've never been paid for fucking anything I've said on the internet.
I have.
No, I haven't, and I never probably will. And that's not my end game. My end game is to talk to.
Been paid? What you been paid for, Terrence?
Oh, yep. Do we have monetization on the channel? Yep.
Oh, shit. Well, fucking shout out to you, man. No, me, I do stuff that I want to do. I went to film school.
It's a lot of money, but you know.
Yeah. Hey, but I went to film school and I tried to do the whole fucking thing, and I don't care. I have my day job. I'm working my shit. And really, at the end of the day, this is for me to talk with people who are pseudo like-minded or give a shit to even talk about this stuff. And to be completely honest, you three, maybe with the exception of maybe two other panels I've been on, you guys are like actually open-minded and we talk about shit and like having the perspectives. Not only, regardless of whether or not I agree with you when the camera turns off, I go to sleep. I think about it. I have a day. Like, people forget there's a 24-hour period after this. There's a week period, give or take, before I talk to you guys.
Interesting, John, because usually when I say stuff, humans be like, all right, T, and then when T is gone, they're like, man, fuck that weirdo T.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I try to play at devil's advocate. I try to do these things, and at the end of the day, I might not be right. Am I going to think I'm right when I say it? Of course, but that's who a person is. But you guys present three different views, or just you two yelling at the two children, and...
Hey, what the hell? If we're children, you're a child too. That's why you went into the family.
That's why I'm saying. I'm self-deprecating. You keep.
Yeah, he's talking about you, Terrence. And
yeah, you forget you're on my side right now.
Me and down there, the old foots.
But I respect you guys, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't care about your opinion. If I didn't think that I could give my personal opinion without feeling like it wasn't being heard, then why even fucking bother? And I would think the other way around. Why even bother having me on unless you're trying to make me a clown or whatever? And I don't feel like that. And I think people are really bad about that these days. They want to bring on people who look stupid. You know what I mean? Versus they don't want to have a conversation. They want to be validated. And I think we see that in a lot of things nowadays. And I want to commend all of you for being just fucking cool ass fucking people. I really enjoy talking with you guys.
I appreciate the compliment, but
and I'm just jerking you guys off. I'm sorry.
But here's the
thing. I fucked him up.
You're not jerking me off.
So here's the thing.
Well, because you're in Canada, we can talk.
Even if I was right.
He said because you're in Canada.
That
Hold
shit
on.
is not happening.
Okay, so
That's not happening.
okay. So you guys have all seen Wild Wild West, right? Will
Mhm.
Smith. Okay, so remember the scene where they're like,
Actually,
"Let's
like that
hang
film.
him," and he was like, trying to present his position, but they didn't care. Like
Mhm.
when you're in that kind of position, it's interesting because I've been in it many times. But it's like no matter who you're talking to, you do have to be strong enough to make your stance, even if the whole world is against you.
Mhm. And just so you know, like we never brought you on this show to make you look stupid. You know,
No, I
we're-
never felt like that.
We're all about
I don't-
having
I
our
don't do
own
that.
opinions. We fucking enjoy having you on the show. This, like, it's great chemistry. So
It was
we're
a
not,
quarter.
yeah.
John,
No, I think you guys are.
John,
I love you guys
John,
dearly.
I
What?
appreciate
Danny,
you,
affirmative
Anzo, and
action.
Danny.
Reverse affirmative action.
Oh shit! No, what did I say? We had to turn this into the fuck equilibrium. We had to turn it to like the creamer in the
Tokalibrium.
coffee podcast or something like that.
Something like exactly.
Yeah,
No,
see,
but-
but no, we're glad to have you. But what's going to happen one day is I'm like, yep, thank you for having me, Danny. He's like, yep, I'm glad that you've enjoyed
Bye.
your time here. I'm like, oh, thank you. And then Danny's gonna be like, I don't think you understood what I meant. I said I've enjoyed you as in
And I'm gonna
past
go
tense.
like slowly, like, oh.
Bye.
and then Superman's
Y'all-
gonna throw a
Y'all
cellophane.
misjudged
fucking-
me, man. I'm sitting back listening because I have my show on Saturday where I don't have none of this stuff. Me,
Damn.
I love
Alonzo,
that.
we can
That's
talk.
the new
that
thing
is-
is.
Oh
Hey.
man, see now I'm picturing Anzo and
Yeah.
Danny high five. They're like, we ain't got no
We are.
Terrence,
No,
we
100.
we ain't got no,
No,
We can-
100.
we ain't got no John.
No, 100. These motherfuckers. I know you don't have Twitter. There's no way you got Twitter. These motherfuckers sent that shit to me, DM'd. They're like, check out our new fucking sweet ass intro. And I go,
Damn,
there's a
you know-
reason I'm not getting a link to this fucking show. I just get to tweet it out like a fucking dipshit. And
That-
then I
that
watch
is-
it and I go, you motherfuckers. Not
See?
only did you fucking call us out, but you also, man.
I'm telling you,
But
Danny
also,
was making.
I agree.
jokes.
I agree.
Danny's like, Terrence is out. Yeah, just high five it on.
This is your fault, though. Like,
No, it
he's
ain't.
bitching about something that he created.
Hey,
You guys didn't even know me 4 weeks ago.
I feel like
Hey.
Danny, if you guys are doing your show and then I happen by, I'm pretty sure you guys, wouldn't
Oh,
mind.
hell no. I wouldn't bring you on, and I wouldn't bring me on.
Damn.
We get to sit in the chat. No, that's when you and I sit in the chat, and we just send him $1 going, you motherfucker.
Y'all got 3 hours, 2 hours for me and Anzo.
Damn, but
Whatever. Fuck you.
I
You
thought-
missed
I
us.
thought we were boys.
We
We
boys.
are. We are.
Damn. So if I was happening by,
Let me tell you this. Go back after the show and watch and see how many times we try to say something. And it's,
I will argue. I feel like we were actually more quiet than you guys.
You were
I actually
quiet.
feel like we
No,
were way
I just spoke up a little bit more this
yeah,
time.
exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the
Exactly.
only thing.
You had to fight for them 6 minutes. I mean,
No, you
I
didn't, because I was
wouldn't- I
actually. I actually felt bad because of your fucking podcast, so I actually shut up a lot
okay.
longer.
Here's the thing, though. I
Just
wouldn't say
saying.
that you had to fight. I mean, you
yeah.
You
No.
could
that's
have.
not what happened.
No, Anzo had to fight. I just tapped
Have
out.
real
Be in the
points
corner.
other than
Hey,
Trinogatory.
hold on.
I
But-
just had
but
a stroke. It's fine.
At what point during this stream did Anzo have to fight me? I don't remember that.
We want to
happening.
go
No.
back and rewind.
Oh,
Go
dude,
back around.
fucking roll with
Wow, Anzo, we did not fight on this stream.
He's like, nope, 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 nope,
fucking
nope,
do
nope,
that.
nope,
Don't
nope,
belittle
nope,
this
nope,
man
nope.
because he's gone toe to toe with us
Yeah.
in a very strong
That
way.
is not how that
cried
happened.
once.
Let me just remind you, I had forgot a thing that I wanted to bring up because I didn't get a chance to
That's
say
right.
it.
That's how it is, boy.
Oh, that is not how that happened. If you rewind it, you will see that we all had a
Look
wonderful
at it. He's
conversation.
man fucking. I'm on.
Oh,
I'm
the
on your
conversation
guys'
was
side.
great.
No, I'm over here. No, don't
The
fucking
conversation
fandom
was
zone me.
great.
No, wait. I got
When
it.
I was able to get in.
Here we go.
See that's the thing.
Nah,
See, now
bro.
I'm picturing you and Danny having a party. The doorbell ring.
Nah,
and
you on
Danny
your.
like, hey,
no,
Anzo,
you're on
go
your
get
own
the door.
island, son.
And then he opened the door and be like, hey, how you guys doing? I brought the
Nah,
free
you
punch.
fucked up.
Hey,
No,
this
no.
how it was. I said, hey, Anzo. I said, man, I'm thinking about doing another show, man. And just me and you. Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, we can actually talk. I was like, yeah, we gonna be.
It was like, no, seriously, we're not
conversate.
even going to talk to John or Terrence, and they're going to both fuck off. And
That is ours.
And
Square
Terrence-
one is Danny's and Anzo's.
So the dinosaur podcast.
You can call it dinosaur. You can call it prehistoric, Paleolithic, man. I don't give a damn.
But Hanzo, I do respect you guys.
Oh, we respect you too.
I don't even think that was a question.
And I was going to say about your door comment, Terrence. I wouldn't have opened it. I would have looked through the peephole and I said, damn it, it's Terrence and John. Turn off the lights.
Don't make a sound.
Y'all fucked up. I would have brought you sugar. I would have brought you sugar. I would have brought peanut butter. I would have brought cereal for your milk. Like y'all can fuck right off.
See, John, if you leave John outside, I understand. But me, you gotta at least let me in for a few minutes.
Bruh.
That's proverbial giving you an inch. You take 10 miles.
Nah, they taking me.
John, you know, once they let me in, I'm gonna get you in. Don't worry. Because see, what's gonna happen is the Terrence charm will get to him.
Right, and that's why it wouldn't happen. Because Terrence be like, yeah, just give me 5 minutes. And then when 5 minutes is up, it's like 5 minutes to yeah, so did you know that new episode?
Yeah. You remember?
So Danny and Alonzo gonna have a timer as soon as I get to the party. They're gonna be like, Terrence, you got 10 minutes to leave your fucking snacks and get the
John, you remember last week we was like,
oh no, you're bad, man.
John, let's talk about something happened on Crisis. About something didn't happen on Crisis. Yeah, that Lex Luthor had powers or something. That he couldn't have powers. Man, I forgot about that because it was the show was over and I was going to another show. I got a call. Yeah, Danny, me and my brother, we watched that. And
can I talk about? Can we talk about a little trigonometry just for the sake, since you brought up Crisis? Because I think Crisis sucks. It's really funny on Instagram. Katie Lotz put up a fucking post. It's fucking hilarious from Crisis on Infinite Earths, and she's trying to bring back like old Oliver or whatever.
Right.
And being like, oh, you're not a piece of shit, whatever. You're a good man on every Earth. Quotations. And then underneath is a fucking shot of Oliver Queen from Crisis on Earth X when he's a Nazi, and he's like, am I a fucking joke to you? I was like, Crisis on Infinite Earths is fucking bougie bullshit, and y'all need to just chill out. I'm sorry that it wasn't good.
Phantom Zone time.
But it doesn't mean nothing.
Thank you very much.
but I mean, Danny, you know I respect you guys and stuff. I like talking.
I'm rising like a phoenix. I don't even care.
I don't even want to hear the word Phoenix anymore after those two movies.
I hear you.
Nothing about.
Stop. X-Men can't do it.
And we respect you too, Terrence. We respect you too, John. You know what I mean? We're all boys.
Ain't no hard feelings.
Don't patronize me. I want to be the next 007.
Damn, I was when you guys. I think Danny sent me the like the thumbnail different stuff. I was like, that's great. I wonder why it don't say like featuring Terrence.
And Terrence probably said, I ain't watching that shit. Fuck that. They didn't got me on this shit. Fuck that shit.
I was like an hour and a half. People actually have enough questions? Get the fuck out of here.
The doggone chat was wide open yesterday.
Yes,
I saw it. I watched.
Yes, it was. The chat was going on.
I kind of give a shit.
See, now I'm picturing just Danny just like, man, Anzo, isn't it nice when we got a topic and it's only like 2 minutes instead of 30 minutes?
Fucking yeah, that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I was like, woo.
I know. God forbid that we thought for more than 5 fucking minutes. My girlfriend and I legitimately had a 30-minute conversation about Jumanji today, and it was awesome.
And I bet it was
30 minutes, man.
Bro,
That
it was
a
a
3-hour conversation right there, man. Like,
It was legitimately awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure it was awesome, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty short for you, right? You're used to going for 2 hours.
Oh,
so
damn.
I'm surprised.
Look, not very. Actually, I
we
thought
need
you
to
were making. I
clarify this
actually
for-
thought you
for
were
the
making fun of
audience.
me. Actually, surprisingly, that actually worked the other way around. My girlfriend, yeah. No, always 30 minutes, 30 minutes or more. Always tell every woman that. Hey, every woman on the internet, every conversation, quote unquote, will be 30 minutes or more.
Yeah,
It depends, though, man.
I bet his girlfriend be drifting off to sleep.
She's like, oh yeah, Robin Williams.
That's another
Yeah,
point.
John's like, did you hear what the hell I said about when the fucking reindeer went through the roof and shit?
Right. How dare you? There's not a single reindeer. This is the jungle. You're a bad person. No, she actually came up with a bunch of shit. I'm honestly, if you guys are down, I would actually really like to talk Jumanji and the new Jumanji, because
Ooh, I like
I'm a
the new
huge
Jumanji.
I was a huge fan of the new one, and actually given
6
after watching
minutes.
the first one, I got
6
you.
minutes.
I'm not gonna get into it. This is for a prerequisite.
6 minutes.
I love
I got somewhere to go. So
I very much enjoyed the first one, and I actually have a few issues that we actually may have cleared up, but I just want to hear your guys' takes on it.
I think the new Jumanji is way better than the old Jumanji.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right.
Fuck all of you. You're
absolutely.
insane.
No. Look. The only
is that
reason
really a thing?
No,
You guys
yes,
really
it is.
think
What
the
the
new
fuck?
one's
Look,
better than the old one?
hold
You
up.
know
hold up.
what's
think
cool
so.
about it? I'm gonna make one quick point. What's cool about it was how they did those extra lives and restart.
I say cool. The cool is
That's-
not as better.
No.
You said better.
Look,
better.
that movie,
my
that
heart.
first one, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, whatever. Look, it made $1 billion over
shit.
time.
Oh shit. No, I'm talking. We watched the original Robin Williams one
Yes, I know.
versus the first Rock one,
Yes, I
which I
think that's
really
better.
enjoyed. The first one.
That is
Oh,
correct.
if you really like the first one better, or
No, I like
No,
Rock
no,
better.
look,
No, we
to
like
me,
the Rock one better than
yes,
Robin Williams.
yes.
oh
Because look,
I like Robin Williams.
Look. The
one better.
only reason as to
Andre.
why, the only
Bruh.
reason as to why people say that is because Robin Williams is in that movie.
No,
That's it.
no,
I'm telling you,
No,
wrong.
that
Yes.
movie is funny as fuck.
Wrong.
it's
bro.
good, but I'm
Huh?
just saying,
Wrong.
like the new movie is better.
Wrong.
The
No.
new movie is better.
Wrong.
Danny,
Yes, it
do you
is.
not agree that the new
Wrong.
movie is better?
I agree with you 1,000%.
Wrong. And
No,
I
it's
will.
better.
I will
It's
go to
better.
bat. Can I ask?
It's better.
We're gonna do some homework. Everybody watched the first one, and everybody watched the first new one, the original, and the first Rock one. No, dead ass.
No,
Because
not
I
because
think
of
Wayne
that.
Johnson,
No,
Kevin Hart,
calm-
Jack
calm
Black,
down,
Karen
bro.
Gillan.
Oh,
Plus the
fucking who
plot.
cares?
What do you mean, who
Kirsten
cares?
Dunst. Kirsten
What do you
Dunst.
mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
What
Don't
do you
fucking
mean?
just
What do I
throw
mean?
names out.
I know personally. I
Okay,
like
first
Robin
of all,
Williams one
the
better.
new movie has more talent. If you
So
take
what?
Robin Williams out of
And
that
that's
movie,
a
would
subjective
anybody care? Answer.
Yeah, but
Would anybody care?
but talent and a good story.
Oh, remember when
The movie
James
has a good
Bond was
story
going to
too
be
with the
Idris
video
Elba?
game, and it was more interesting.
Fucking hypocrite.
Not to me.
Oh my god.
Danny, you on my
God,
side, right?
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
agree.
That
Burning-
is way more interesting.
You take Robin Williams out there, and nobody gonna give a damn about that movie.
Ain't nobody
Wow,
gonna give a
that's
shit
such
about that
horseshit.
movie.
That is such horseshit. That you
Explain
guys
why
are
it's not.
horseshit.
Explain why it's
I've
not.
heard,
because you guys are
I've heard
hypocrites
people
now.
say
You're hypocrites
if you
now.
take-
What
You're
the
hypocrites
hell?
now.
Oh no!
You are
Explain why
hypocrites
it's not.
how
Explain why it's
100%
not.
hypocrites.
how
Explain why it's
100%.
not.
Because in
Explain
the
why it's
same
not.
fucking cast, we're talking about actors. Because I don't even need to go into this. This is awesome. You guys were talking about actors taking on famous roles, and you're just saying that because Robin Williams is there. That's totally not even what I was talking about, but yet you made it about that. You guys are hypocrites, and it's really fucking funny to watch.
First of all,
super
that's
fucking
not what
funny.
it. No.
No, it's super
That's
fucking
not what
funny.
we
I
were
don't
talking about.
say anything about it. The
We were
internet
talking
will
about
eat you up.
Jumanji,
It's fun.
and I said that the newer one is a better movie, and
I
it
think
has
you're
more,
wrong.
and it has more talent in it. I think you're
How are
wrong.
we
And I also
hypocrite?
think that's wrong.
How are we hypocrites?
How are we hypocrites? You're not explaining
Because
anything.
you said that Robin Williams didn't matter. You take Robin
What?
Williams out.
No.
The movie didn't matter.
Look, the movie
we saying that
as
the
a
other actors
whole.
don't matter.
That's what you
That's what
said.
we saying.
It's
We
what
said
I
the
said.
other. We saying that the other movies The other actors didn't matter. Not Robin Williams. That what we
Robin
saying?
Williams matters.
Robin Williams
What the
made the
fuck?
movie.
Kirsten Dunst was a prolific child actor.
Oh, come on,
John,
come on, man.
look.
You don't even believe
If
that,
you
man. You don't even believe
if
that.
you take Robin
She
Williams
was-
out
she
of that movie,
She was.
Listen,
She ended up
if you
being
take-
a small
take
soldier.
Robin
She ended
Williams
up being
out,
a
the
fucking
movie is
small-
just okay.
Spider-Man.
It's just okay.
Oh,
if you take
come on.
Robin Williams out. But with the new
That-
one, that shit has a dope ass story, and you have a lot of talent in
I
it.
think you're wrong. I
One-
think you,
And I
you
think
need
you're
to rewatch
wrong.
And
So
the
I don't
reason
need
why
to rewatch
is
it.
I
I
say-
remember the movies.
No, you
And I'm
don't.
telling you.
And
No,
and
you
I'm
don't.
telling you,
I'm gonna
the
say,
new one
just
is
watch
better.
The new one is not even as funny as the old one.
How
Why-
many? How about? How,
Danny, are you
Not
hearing
even.
I
this?
totally agree,
Yeah, not
nigga.
even
I
close.
totally agree.
Not even
Hanzo, I totally agree.
Not even close.
No,
Like,
no.
Jimmy, how
David-
about this? How about this?
David
How about this?
Allen
How about
Greer,
this? How about this? How about this? How about this? How about this?
No,
Fucking
man.
world building.
Robin Williams
World
made that fucking
building.
movie.
Jumanji made it, so you already owe a little bit of respect. Fine, just watch it. I'm not even saying make the thing now. I
didn't
just
say-
asked that we
I
all did our
didn't-
homework.
I
No,
didn't
get
say
it.
the
Stop
movie
getting on
was
my ass.
bad.
Can you crawl out of my
said-
butt? Can you crawl out of my butt?
That the movie
need
would
you to
be
crawl
okay
out of my butt.
without Robin, and I
Dude,
need you to pay
Terrence
attention.
really can't. You really can't.
So,
Dead
so,
ass cannot.
so the new one is better.
Bruh.
Like I said, story,
Bruh.
characters,
I'm asking
action, it's
one
all
thing.
better.
Okay, fine. You don't even have to watch the Rock one because apparently we're super fans. I'm saying my homework this week. I already watched it twice.
I'm not saying I'm a.
I'm gonna
super
watch
fan.
the
I'm just saying I
original.
thought it was better.
And then I'm gonna watch the Rock. You guys literally said the Rock one was better.
I just
Y'all
said
are
I said it was better, but I'm not
fucking
saying I'm a
base.
super fan.
Y'all
I'm
are
just saying
off
it was
base.
better.
I'll bang on something too. Fucking hell.
Wait, that wasn't me. That was a firework from a human.
Well, I'll shit in my own pants to make a.
You got fireworks going on over there, Terrence?
Yeah, all the time.
That's
Like
a real
the last
thing.
couple
Let's
weeks, anyway.
deal where I go. Let's just watch them.
I'll watch
Let's
it.
watch the old one. Let's watch the new one. Just the first one. Don't need the sequel. First one. Rock one. Old one. Let's see them. Because other
one
than CGI, I really think the old one really holds up. And I tried to poke holes in it. I really did.
I think it holds up too. I just think the new one is better. That's all.
And I think
Simple.
you're off base because I think
I
it's
think you're
unfair.
all base. It's
Yeah,
I'm not
and I
gonna.
think it's unfair.
But I think you're all base, John.
Listen,
it's okay to like the original
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I like it
You
too.
talk
I
about
just think that the new
Watch
one
it
is
and talk
better.
about it. Let's watch
That's
it and
all.
talk about it. I think it's better to have examples. It's better to have examples than a feeling.
I just gave. First of all, I just gave you examples. I mentioned
no,
the
you didn't. You
cast.
gave me a
The
feeling.
cast is better in terms of the talent,
objective.
and I think the story is better with the video games. I think there's
Objective.
more action, and you are hanging on to the nostalgia of the original movie, of the original movie.
Objective, man.
But it's my opinion.
Stop. Again,
See.
let's watch both films.
It's an
And have
opinion, John.
examples.
I do
And
not
have
think
examples.
that the first one
Have
is a better movie. Absolutely not.
Oh my soul. Oh my
Look at that, man.
soul.
Oh,
Look
my
at that,
soul.
Hanzo, help me. Like, sir, I'm saying I think
Listen, man,
first
I can't tell the man them they're wrong because
My
that's
first
what they
statement-
feel.
my
Me
first-
personally, like I like the Robin Williams one. I've watched it many times. I've seen the Rock one once.
and
I
also
like the
saying,
Robin Williams one too. That's what I'm
but that
trying to
was
tell
my
you.
thing.
But
I'm saying one, the Robin Williams one holds up.
it does.
Two. I think you didn't even know my opinion on the second one. I love the second one. I have fallen out of love of it because I feel like it was a missed opportunity. And I would like to talk about why, but I can't do that unless you guys revisit the first one.
Here's my thing. Again, this is
Boom.
not about boom. This is not about you being wrong. I
No, I'm
think the
booming.
first movie
Okay,
first movie is good, but I think the sequel or whatever you want to
that's
call
fine.
it,
That's
I think
fine.
it did
That's
a better
fine. I don't
job.
care. We're not getting into that talk because I need everybody to watch the old one and watch the new one.
It's not gonna
and we need
change
examples.
my position.
I don't
It's
care,
not.
and that just shows you to be a closed-minded, pigeonholed person who
Okay,
maybe
John,
should
you cannot say that
down.
to me because I
Yes, I
listen to your opinions.
When
So
you
no, I just
literally
have
said if I rewatch something.
Y'all see why we got our own show?
Yeah, I do.
This is why we been our own show. Because y'all two can't even let the other one talk.
But I thought you brought us on for entertainment.
but no, like in all seriousness, like the 3 Jumanji movies that are out, I like them all. But I do prefer the ones with Dwayne Johnson.
And I'm actually an asshole. I haven't seen the third one, so I really only want to compare the old one with the new one.
Let me
third
read
one.
this one thing, then I'm gonna be finished.
You said the
Opinion,
third one?
a
And I'm
view
good.
or
No, I'm good.
judgment form about something not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. That is definition of opinion.
How
So
can your
if your opinion is Robin Williams is better, then that's your opinion. If Terrence's opinion is that the Rock was better, that's his opinion. You can't change
would
it.
you like to know? Your opinion cannot be wrong. The problem is the context of subjective versus objective. Your subjective opinion is an opinion. So, like, I think the sky is better when it's blue. That's subjective.
But
objective would be me saying the sky is blue right now when I look at it.
Again, you're not wrong. I just have my preference. Do you understand?
The only problem I have with
you can't help yourself. You have to go into it. That's fucking
no. This just makes it interesting, John. You know the nature of the game.
No.
Yes,
my problem is you saying that we're hypocrites. I'm trying to see how we hypocrites.
Oh, me?
I still think you said that Terrence and I were hypocrites. I'm trying to figure
about what particularly. About what particularly?
That's what you was shouting. When we said we like the Rock was better, when we said that we like the Rock Jumanji better,
way back for a different discussion.
See that John shot us in the neck.
But I can do it about this. I can do it about this.
Discussion.
It was for this one.
It was this one. When
I
you
can
asked,
do opinion versus.
When you first posed the question, we said which one you like better. Me and Terrence said we like the Rock better. You're hypocrites. Okay. Y'all hypocrites. So I want to know how I'm a hypocrite.
Because when we went back to the old actors, you guys were talking about Robin Williams. If he wasn't in there, nobody'd care, right?
Oh yeah.
The movie worked because he was in there. Yes. It's like Robin Williams. Yes.
Yeah, he is the most important part of the movie.
But you can say that about the Rock too.
Thank you.
Yeah, but see, in the case of the
Kevin Hart was in that movie.
It was a lot of people in that movie.
But you guys said no. Fuck off. You 3 said you would go see Idris Elba as 007. You said
I'm gonna listen. No. I like 007.
People will do that.
I didn't say that, John.
Why is that shitty to say it when white people will do that?
I don't do that though, and I guess
John, I didn't say that.
And I'm saying,
okay,
I said,
chill out.
I said in the past, I said in the past, I said in the past,
okay,
but I've said in the past, I've said in the past that movie theaters will get people who they think people want to see or put butts in the seat. Case in point, that's why George Clooney played Batman, because back then he was hot, and they thought that he would put butts in the seat. Same thing that point I made about Jason Momoa. If you look at the comic books, he does not look like Jason Momoa. He's blonde hair, blue eyes. But they know that Jason Momoa will put
and like I said, you must have missed my point, because I specifically said that I'm gonna go because I'm a fan of 007. I think it would be a mistake to cast him, but if it works, it works, and I would prefer that it does because I want to see a good movie. But it doesn't change the fact that if you have, aside from the concept, right? You got a cool concept. People go, oh yeah, I'm gonna go see that. But then after that, they may want to know who's in the movie. And if you stack the movie with a bunch of talent, you have many areas as to how you could pull people in. But in terms of the new Jumanji films, they were already at a disadvantage because at first people didn't want to give it a chance because they're like, well, Robin Williams is not in it. But then you had individuals like myself, like Danny. We went to go see it. We told humans like, "Hey, you need to give this a shot." Then they went. They told other humans, and it got to $1 billion. And their whole entire reason for not wanting to go see it is because Robin Williams was not in the movie. They didn't say nothing about the concept. Robin Williams is not in the movie.
The same thing was said about Aladdin too. They didn't think Will Smith would be as strong as Robin Williams as a genie, but he held his own.
Remake, and I don't care.
Aladdin's not good, but I'm just saying it. Danny's point is true. It's because Robin Williams.
Good.
Again,
money. I don't give a shit. That's why I'm talking about Jumanji 30 years later. Okay. What I'm talking about is my deal is with Jumanji.
Hey, let's wrap it up because we're 9 minutes over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jumanji. Jumanji is a great film that people should watch because when we finished, all we did for like 40 minutes was like trying to figure out how their world worked. It was like, the kid who turned into a monkey tried to cheat. And it's like, well, how did he cheat? I'm curious. And like they had other people like throwing dice in weird ways. We tried to watch how they all threw dice and like whose turn was it. And the whole film did a really good job of doing that. And I feel like the Rock one was more worried about jokes and
that's not true. There were consequences in there too, even more.
That's so fine, but they had extra lives, which takes away a little bit of weight, but I understand that it then builds into the story.
Like I said, terrifying shit though, John, because with the element of lives, that means there's more risk though.
We don't have time for it. All I'm asking is I think it's already proven right now, I think in 5 minutes I've proven, I think we should watch the original Jumanji and watch the Rock Jumanji, and we can actually talk about a prolific franchise, quote unquote, being remade for the masses almost multiple decades later. I think that's a really good discussion because that is following up, I think, also on top of all of the gender bending and stuff. I think it's all in the same conversation. The idea of people who could potentially be handling or mishandling something. I don't know what your guys' opinions are. I don't want them because I would rather we all watch it and then talk about it in detail.
And we can have that discussion because
examples are good. Examples are good.
I understand, but again, we can have that discussion anytime.
Yes.
I don't need to revisit it. I'm just letting you know.
I think it's always good to revisit it so you have specific examples because I don't think anybody should be so arrogant to think that you saw it 5 years ago and you thought that was a good decision.
And if every time you say something, if one can have a discussion, then we have enough to carry out the conversation.
That's not the same thing. When you're talking about something specific, if you actually have the medium there for your disposal, you should check it out 5 years later. If you're going to talk specifically,
what scenes are you going to mention that I don't know or that Danny doesn't know?
That's not the point. The point is
the point because if for the sake of the conversation, if you can follow along, that means
shouldn't everybody be versed on the conversation when you walk in the room?
Yes,
is that too much
again? But again, I didn't say it was a problem, John. I'm just bringing up a point.
I feel like you're acting like
no. This is just part of the conversation, John.
I'm gonna move to these two because I don't think what I'm asking is too off base.
I didn't say it was. This is just part of the conversation. No, I didn't say that it was.
All right. Thank you.
I don't know what I did wrong. I feel off base.
You didn't do anything wrong.
I'm saying I feel off base. I'm like, what?
You're not off base. When did me and Danny say you were off base? I'm only responding to what
Danny in this at all.
All I'm gonna say is if there's a subject matter and you are well versed in it, if you remember particular points of it, it don't matter if you're gonna watch it 1 day, 10 days, 15 days, 15 months. If Terrence knows the subject matter, he don't have to be watched again. If you don't know the subject matter, then he's going to look foolish whenever you bring up particular points.
Exactly.
And he say, I don't remember that. But if he remembers it and clearly
there's a difference between a week or two or a year.
Not if we can have our discussions, because
And
Danny
I'll be
and
honest
Anzo.
with you. And I'll be honest with you. Terrence knows shit from when he was
I
fucking
ain't
12
lying.
years old. You know what I mean?
That's
what I know.
fine. The
No, he
movies,
says
man.
no, but bro,
I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
I personally will watch it. I will definitely watch it.
Does
I
it
like the
seem
fucking
so
movie
bad to be
anyway.
like, hey, go watch a good film?
I didn't
watch
say it
it,
was a problem. We're
I'm
just
just
having
saying-
a conversation.
You want to have this? You want to have a discussion next week, right? About
Sorry, Anzo.
Right.
I'm like, fucking hell.
I'm
No,
saying
man, I'll watch it.
I might watch the first one. I might watch the second one. I know what the hell I remember.
Yeah, so we watched the first one. That's what he
Yeah.
asked. We watched the first
I'll
two.
watch the first because I don't remember the first one verbatim, so I will refresh my memory. All my argument point is, if someone knows the subject matter, they don't have to. When it comes to this shit, it's like he got a damn photographic memory.
Yeah,
I don't
he
have
does, man.
I
does.
I don't have that shit.
No, not you, Terrence. Because I sit
Terrence.
there and I'm like, how the fuck do you remember
I don't.
that?
My girl and I watched it and we ripped it apart for 30
We're not
minutes.
saying you.
We're not
We're
saying
saying
you.
the
We're
person
not
that's
saying
not
you.
human.
Terrence.
I know. I feel
Terrence.
bad. Like I want to rip it apart. I like like I think the thing that people forget about me is I want to rip it apart, because when you rip it apart to the tiny pieces and you go, oh, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that either. It all works. And if it's still a perfect film after that, it's like fucking
Instead of angry black man, you are
like-
the angry white looking man. That's
I
The angry
like that.
Latino.
I like that. See, I like that
Angry
Danny
Latino.
and Anzo explained to you my position, because John, you know, for all intents and purposes, you are still getting used to me, and you cannot misunderstand my position.
and I
if
have
you
no
do it,
ill will
then-
ever.
Right. I know.
No, for the viewer, for the fucking viewers, man. Holy fucking internet.
You are
Batman.
making yourself look crazy because nobody thinks you got any ill will.
At
Oh,
all.
I
Nobody thinks
always
that you're
will do
crazy.
the internet.
At all.
Not with us.
Listen,
All he
we're-
is saying that
Gotta
he
save
wants
my
to have a
ass for the
conversation
internet.
with
No,
you.
Gotta throw it out there.
the internet,
Oh,
yes,
ether.
but for us, we're different, man.
I gotta throw it to the
Wait, Danny, what are you saying?
I said all Terrence is trying to say is he wants to have the conversation. He doesn't
me
need to look at. He doesn't need to rewatch it because he doesn't know it. He watched shit I ain't never heard of. And
it's good.
Anzo had that damn space porno shit he was sending me last week.
It
I ain't never heard of that
wasn't no
shit before.
fucking porno,
Okay,
man.
first of all, space porno shit.
And also, and to
Calm
be
down.
fair, right?
First of all, everybody wants to watch space porno shit.
No, it
But
was.
it's been really
But
fun
have
to
you
watch
ever seen
original films.
Galaxina?
I just think
No,
John, it was
Galaxina.
Galaxina. Have you ever seen
I
Galaxina?
did see that
Thank you
fucking
very
thing
much.
you fucker
Now-
sent to me.
now-
Okay.
But-
if I
but-
say if you never heard of it, and I say, hey, I got this here movie. It's called Galaxina. What the hell gonna
I'll
come to your
watch it.
mind at first? What
watch
are you
it.
thinking? What are you thinking, Anzo?
Either I'm
never
taking my
heard that.
pants off, or I'm
Probably
gonna look at
more.
all of you fools in
Probably
a very different
That's all
way.
I'm saying. It
but
may
see,
not be, but it sounds like it.
But see, the good thing is that, like when we're having a conversation, the movies, whatever we're talking about, there are times where I'm like, you know what, explain your position, because I want to hear what you have to say, and then at that point, then I'll say something, because Danny might be like, T, remember when so and so jumped off the roof? I'm like, what scene was that, Danny? And he'll say, about, oh yeah, and then we have our conversation. But if I don't know, I will not pretend.
He will
like
go
I
back
know.
and watch it and call
Yep.
you and tell you, hey, I just watched it.
Like I said,
and,
it's hard to hurt my feelings because I'm the king of hot takes. I came on your podcast with a hot
Hurt
take.
your feelings? What in the world?
No,
what are
I'm
you talking
fucking
about,
ready to go, man. Like you guys are great.
well, you are confrontational. We ain't about no confrontation.
No, I'm the king of confrontation. I'm Mr.
You
I'm
are.
Mr. Fucking.
You done
I'm
cuss us
Mr.
out about 4 times a day. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's what I do.
John
What
did
the hell?
like he did whipped out the weapons and shit. Like, get back, beast! Get back, beast! Like,
Oh shit! All right, guys.
but yeah,
let's go ahead and wrap this up.
But yeah,
Anzo, tell people they can find you at, good sir.
Yes, you guys know Big Afford Entertainment. Catch me streaming with Rob. Probably be on with him later on tonight. Danny's usually on with me too.
I forgot about that.
Are you on?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and then we have Equilibrium, this show every Sunday, and as you can see, it's wild, man. This show is definitely wild. It's so wild that me and Danny had to create our own show for Saturday, which is called Square One. So you guys check us out, man. And like I said, peace.
Also, I don't appreciate being known as a human because I know when Terrence says stuff, I know I'm a human. I can't help myself.
Oh gosh, oh my lord. Go ahead, Terrence. Tell people they can find you at, sir.
Oh yeah. How's it going, humans?
God damn it, me!
I don't want anyone listening to think that there are any problems. Had to just explain one's position, but clarification is always important, especially among friends. But you can find me here on this panel. We got our show Equilibrium and John, Anzo, and Danny, and then Monday the Chaotic Conversation, right, Danny?
That's correct.
Yep. So you can find me there most of the time. Different panelists, but usually the same familiar faces. You can find me on the Tremaine Terrence channel. I do reviews for movies, shows, comic book stuff, different blogs. There are also scenes from movies and shows that I like. There are over 8,400 videos for you to choose from. I put together over 120 playlists for you to better navigate through the channel. And hey, if you get the time, go over there, and then maybe you might see something you like.
And if not, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's damn true. That's damn true.
All right, John. Tell the people they can find you at, sir.
Well, apparently you can find me every Sunday here, hopefully. Best I can. Showing up. Here every week you got me with Operation Babel with my co-host Mike Shrews. I gotta say, one, just for the sake of the chat, what Anzo sent was not porn.
Thank you.
Hashtag was not porn.
Wait, what did I miss?
Gotta check the chat, my dude.
Oh boy, what in the world?
I gotta say, dead fucking serious. Sorry to throw F-bombs, Danny. I know we're trying to keep it PG. I will use
as many curse words as I use.
I won't use the P word, like PP. Talking with you guys every week is really awesome. I think the idea that people can push back on each other and actually talk without other ideas, you don't move forward. And I think, honestly, this is the most productive. Sorry, Michael, my co-host. I think this is the most productive podcast I'm on at a given week. I think you guys have really good insight. I think you all have extremely different perspectives on things. And I really look forward to the days you don't have me. And hopefully you have other people on to see how you beat them up.
Whoa, what in the world?
Totally a joke. I know there's a ton of people who love this podcast, and I do now too, and definitely check out Square One because I've seen personal videos from Anzo that are really, really well done, spoken from the heart. And Danny is obviously trying to get other stuff moving forward, and seeing you two actually get to share your perspectives for more than 20 seconds at a time before we pop in is honestly, it honestly is really cool. And it gives me a perspective for you guys moving to forward podcasts, hopefully. And again, I would never trade hanging out with you guys.
Thanks, man.
So you guys are great. Y'all are the future. I love you guys.
I think I'm feeling what the humans call a warm heart. Ain't that something?
Can we clip that? Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that. That's the fucking highlight for this.
I am Danny. I try to control this chaos on Sundays. I love it.
Me too.
I don't know what's going on with my Twitter. It's pissing me off. I'm trying to get it strict. I got a second Twitter now. You can find me
You're too
on
awakened.
Danny Graham at comment chats 2. That's my new Twitter handle. But also you can see me on Mondays tomorrow night. I'll be on the Celtic Conversation. I haven't thought of a topic yet, but I have one here before that time tomorrow. Also, you can catch me Tuesday on the Celtic List with Chris Knight and myself. Also, you can catch me Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Rule of 3. And our new show on Saturdays from 4 to 6 is Square One. It's pretty much just a calmer version of this show. And we're going to appreciate the chat from yesterday. Very positive. They kept us with questions. I think we stayed on about an hour and 30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
It was a little bit short than we anticipated because I had previous plans. But I'm going to dedicate 5 hours a week for these 2 shows. They're awesome. This gets some stuff I really wish I could talk about.
Huh?
Damn.
No. I said 5 hours for these 2 shows.
Damn.
Square One
Can
and Equilibrium.
Can I still do a pitch piece for your first piece of merch? Can I get a black t-shirt with Terrence's fucking avatar on it?
Oh god.
I just walk around like that babe shirt on the fucking beach. Like, no, imagine him. Like, can I move over? Like, transpose on me.
I don't want that.
All right,
you guys were great. Thank you so much.
Just one last.
Watch Jumanji, you fuckers.
A lot of the content.
The first one. Watch them.
A lot of the content that we do, and we're trying to, keep it entertaining and shit. I think we have a great chemistry, the 4 of us, man. So, I want to thank all the people in the chats that come and watch us constantly. You know what I mean? Like I said, we couldn't do this shit without you guys as well. So it's much appreciated, man.
Yep.
And go watch fucking Onzo's channel, man.
Can I? What the fuck is going on with these humans? Always blowing shit up.
Blowing shit up, man. What are you on the 4th of July and shit?
Terrence, we know you're mad because you ain't blowing shit up with them.
Damn, man.
Man, nah. Like, I used to enjoy fireworks, but it just wasn't the real thing. It's not like a real grenade or something.
Yeah,
The internet ruined it for me. I'm sorry. Shit's over.
Shit, they out here wilding out and shit.
Best shit ever, though, is you take those little poppets, you put them under a toilet seat, and let your girlfriend sit on them. It's fucking hilarious.
Like, enjoy that bathroom.
Fucking hilarious. Fucking
all right,
funny.
people. We catch y'all next week. Later.
Danny, you are
3, 2, 1.
Oh, they got out quick. You kicked them out quick.